Good morning everybody, how are you? My name's Vicky with you till 12. We're starting a brand new week with a bang today. We're going to welcome you into your bright and early Monday morning with a brilliant saving on something that is a staple part of any quilter's workroom. Wadding. We all need wadding. I know, or bag making actually, not just quilters. Bag makers I know love wadding as well. This is without a shadow of a doubt the most popular wadding that we have on our website. And we're discounting it as an early bird. It makes no sense whatsoever. Normally you would say, oh, maybe we discount something to make sure everybody has a go with this one if you hadn't before. Whereas I know that this is a firm favourite with so many of our viewers and so many of our guest designers, so many of us here all really champion this 80/20, so simple, brilliant, beautiful wadding. Even if you're not doing big quilts, because this one is queen size, but if you aren't doing big quilts, remember it's almost like your fabric. I know people start to build up their wadding stash as well, because you can obviously cut it into smaller pieces. You can baste pieces together, so always keep any scraps that you have for smaller projects. What I personally love, and I must say, it really, really is personal preference on waddings. You can get wool, you can get polyester, you can get cotton, you can get the mixes. I love the 80/20 mix. The bamboo are brilliant as well. But what I love about the 80/20 mix is that you get the benefits of having the natural fibres in the cottons, but also if you're using it a lot as a quilt and you want to chuck it in the wash, it's got the polyester in as well. So it is, of course, as well, bring those synthetic fibres in, which makes it, one, very affordable, but also very, very durable and something that you're going to be able to keep and use and use and use. Today, it's a great saving to start the show, saving £5 on your super soft wadding. I know it can be a bit of a minefield at the start. If you go onto our website, there's lots of different waddings. So what a great place to start if you are new. Maybe you're looking at the tulip pink on the front of the desk. You're thinking of other projects that may be unfinished. Maybe you've done lots of quilt tops and you're yet to quilt them. Definitely worth stocking up with a £5 saving. This is a great chance. Quite often, actually, I know when we did a free P&P show, earlier, a couple of weeks ago, we were saying, oh, this is a good time with £3.95 saving to stock up on things like waddings, which are normally more considered. What else you got your free P&P? This is more than £3.95 saving, £5 saving today. This could be quilted up to 10 inches apart, which is quite large actually. I was reading on a couple of them last week that they had to be 3 inches apart. So if you're thinking, right, actually, I'm new to this, I don't want to do lots and lots of quilting, my machine is quite small and it isn't up to doing lots and lots and lots and lots of quilting, I just want to do some simple cross-hatch designs or just some simple straight lines, then this is brilliant. So the maximum that your lines need to be apart from each other is 10 inches, which is brilliant, isn't it, without it breaking up. So that's fantastic. If you're doing smaller projects or if you're doing lovely quilted bags, this is going to go a really, really long way. It's queen size, which let me work out. In fact, it says on the graphics, doesn't it? It's 108 inches by 90 inches. That's 228 by 274. It's big. In fact, you know what? We've got loads of these and lots of people already checking out. Let's open this up. Right, excuse me, because this is loud. You may have seen packets of wadding in shops and thought, right, okay, it's something that is expensive and it's something that you're not going to see in your quilt. It's something that is essential, but it's something that you don't necessarily, well, you don't see. It's not the prettiest thing, is it? Sorry, I know this is really noisy, Paul. But, oh, this is so soft. This is so, so soft. See, I always thought about using these on beds because obviously with the cotton, it's obviously got weight to it. So it's going to be lovely to drape over a bed. But I was talking to Sally Ann and she says, I use cotton blends when I'm doing wall hangings because it's got that weight. It sits really, really nicely. So this is brilliant. I mean, look at how big this is. You ready? It's not going to fit on here. Oh, quilted jackets even. quilted jackets are really in at the moment. I think as we're going through this transition into autumn, I know a lot of people are doing projects. Quilted pattern jackets are really popular. Okay, I'm opening this right out, and I know that we're in our brand new massive studio, and I'm still going to struggle to show you this. I'm still going to struggle to show you how much. The first thing that I noticed when you unpack this is how soft it is. It is so super soft. Right, hang on. This is still folded, by the way. It's so much bigger than I thought it was. Do you know when you're trying to, if anybody's got a queen bed at home, if anybody's got a big bed and you're trying to do the duvet on your own, trying to change it, it can become quite problematic. That's the issue I'm having here. There you go. Loads and loads of wadding. It's super soft. This is your 80/20 cotton blend. Really affordable today at $39.99 when you're making a £5 saving as the early bird. It's so nice. Right, I'm seeing a big quilt project, but I also know a lot of people aren't working on a queen size quilt. How many smaller projects are you going to be able to do? How many quilted tote bags as Christmas gifts or Christmas stockings? How many Christmas stockings and Christmas sacks are you going to be able to get out of this? It would be brilliant. What about if you've got your stash of Christmas fabrics that you started working with, and now you need your stash of wadding? That is a lot of wadding to keep you going. And it is one of those things that the sewing shop near me doesn't necessarily have very many options on wadding. They have lots of beautiful fabrics, but they're limited on their wadding. So this is a really good chance to stock up at that saving. And as I said, we started the show by saying, look, this isn't something that we struggle to sell. This is the most popular wadding that we stock on the website. So we wanted to start the week with a warm welcome, quite literally. It's so beautifully soft and warm, but a warm welcome to say, right, let's get everybody kitted out, ready for all their Christmas makes, ready for their bags, ready for their quilted jackets for autumn. Maybe you're finishing some of these UFOs that you've been starting and doing through lockdown. If you want to finish any projects, I know that this, even for quilted cushion fronts, it's beautiful because it's going to be so soft. It is so soft indeed. You know how we use 8640 a lot in projects? Okay, I know it's not for everybody, but this can be used in the exact same way using your 505 spray. But it's a cotton. It's an 80% cotton fabric, so it's absolutely beautifully soft. It's really stunning quality. So if you do use a lot of 8640, want to try out using a cotton wadding, I would get yourself some 505, which is your spray adhesive. Obviously, there's different ways of basting as well, but 505 is really quick and it would work the same way as your 8640. So it's a good chance to try it out when we're offering a saving like £5. That is brilliant. It is today's early bird special. It's potentially one of the biggest early birds that we've done. It's the biggest early bird special that we've done in the brand new studio. Hannah's back, everyone, by the way. She's been on a holiday for 11 days. She's back for 2 days only, and then she's off for another week. So make the most of these Hannah specials. Make the most of our Hannah being here. This is such a great deal at $39.99. I've got a feeling that this could be, even though we made sure we had loads and loads and loads of these, I've got a feeling that these could be a sellout today. It's such great quality and such brilliant price point. So, just a quick roundup. Today's early bird special for today and today only, unless it doesn't even last the day. So check out. Remember, those of you that are purchasing now, have a look on the website or stay with us today. We've got Katharine joining me, and you'll only pay 1p&p across the whole day. So it's a really good day to stock up your stash. Today's show, we've got some brand new fabrics. This whole first hour is virtually new. It should say fabulous new fabrics. We haven't had new fabrics for a long time. 90% of it is new. It's amazing. So that's coming up this first hour. At 9 o'clock, Katharine's going to be joining me, and we've got the wall hanging, which I'll show you in a second. Do you know anybody that's celebrating an anniversary? We've got an anniversary wall hanging coming up at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we've got Quilting Tools. We're going to get you all kitted out with some lovely quilting tools at 10 o'clock, some great prices, some products that are back in stock. And 11 o'clock, we've got the Tula Pink that you saw draped over the desk just there with Katharine again. Another great chance of using another gorgeous collection of Tula Pink. It's the first time I've seen the True Colours range, and I love it. Absolutely love it. So that's coming up at 11. Plus there's yesterday's repeat at 12. So the anniversary quilt, which is this way behind me. This is going to be a really great quick gift for somebody. If you know someone celebrating an anniversary, maybe you're starting out on your quilting journey, you've got the early bird and you're now thinking, right, I'm ready to tackle my first quilt. My first quilt came from a panel quite similar to this actually, and it's a really good chance to practice your quilting. We're going to be talking about free motion quilting, and it doesn't need to be somebody's 20th wedding anniversary. The panel, the templates come with all different numbers, so you can do, well, it was my first year wedding anniversary this year. If you know somebody that's celebrating a really big wedding anniversary, 20 years is a big anniversary, isn't it? Any though. Hannah went to a 60th wedding anniversary recently. What a lovely gift idea for somebody. And you could personalise it with names as well, couldn't you? Who was the 60th wedding anniversary that you went to? Oh, Edna and Arthur. Congratulations. She says they're basically like my second grandparents. They're lovely. So yes, stay tuned. Arthur said you look like a husky. I thought you said something completely different then. Can you guess at home what that sounded like? Yeah, because you've got beautiful blue eyes, she looked like a husky. Ah. And your hair's nothing like a husky. Anyway, we digress. So that's coming up later on with Katharine. Plus, we've got some of her popular patterns back in stock. Already people checking out on the website on the tweed pattern and on the boho bag. If you do want to come in and say hello to us, I'm here with you all week, I'm afraid. I'm here all week. So if you do want to come in and say hello, I would really, really appreciate all of your messages, whether it be on the email, which is studio@sewingstreet.com. As I say, Hannah's back. I must say though, Kat has been doing a grand job this week. She's been on air every day. No pressure, Hannah, but she's come on and done her tips every day. That's studio@sewingstreet.com. She's also, of course, you can also message in via Facebook. Sewing Street TV on Facebook. Oh no. In Hannah's email, she's just opened a work email. Is this your personal email or your work email? Personal email. You read all of the ones from everybody messaging in. The one from management, she said that I've got 160 unread emails. So Hannah might be quiet for the next 45 minutes because she's going to plough through those emails. She says, I'm just going to ignore them. You do know the management are in today. She says, I want to have a fun day with you guys today, so I'm ignoring them and I'll deal with it later this afternoon. So please do come and say hello to us. If you message Hannah, she will not ignore your message. It's just all of the management ones, only if you're management. Okay, shall we start with some new fabrics? Woohoo! I love stocking up our stash with beautiful, brand new fabrics. Where on earth do we start? Can we start with these? These have got, for me, a little bit of a Japanese influence. You know, the flowers are really beautiful, almost like the cherry blossom. So this one's PRYV67, please, Hannah. It's a lighter weight cotton. It's a poplin weight, which I think would be absolutely beautiful for dressmaking as well. It doesn't necessarily just need to be for quilting. I know with our early bird today, we're all thinking of quilting projects in mind, but actually this is a lighter weight, really, really beautiful cotton, which would be great for dressmaking as well. It's from one of our favourite designers. This is Michael Miller, brand new designer fabric for £7.99 half metre. And as always, remember, this is now your chance to stock up by the half metre, so we'll cut it off the bolt, especially for you. There's something still that's beeping, and I don't know what it is. Do you know when you have? I had that around the house the other day, and I was like, right, it isn't my fire alarm. What is it that's bleeping? It's really annoying, isn't it? And there's something, we thought is it the iron? Is it the sewing machine? I've turned the sewing machine off. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether, can you hear it at home? Can you hear it in the gallery? You can't hear it, it's just me. Okay. If Hannah puts the heating up too high, it makes a really high-pitched squeaking noise, which sounds like the fire alarm is going off at someone else's house. Oh no. She says, I spend a lot of time hitting your head on the wall, listening through, thinking, are next door okay? Oh dear. Oh no, it's just that you're, yeah, it's just your radiator making the noise. Oh dear. Look, there it goes again. Is it to do with the aircon? Is the aircon on or something? £7.99 half metre. Beautiful, beautiful fresh flowers. It's Monday morning, isn't it? It's been one of those mornings, I must say. Monday morning. We had road closures this morning, road works. We've had our gates to come into the studio were all locked up and none of us knew how to get in. It's been fun. Oh yeah, Hannah has been on her holidays for the last 11 days. So she's been on a real trip up and down the country by accident. So she jumped on the train at a platform 12, where A, which she should have been on platform 12B. Has anybody else ever done that, where the platforms are split in two trains that are arriving at the same time, one going to Blackpool and one going to Birmingham. Hannah needed to go to Birmingham. She said, I fell asleep on the train, woke up and thought, right, I'm in Bradford. This doesn't seem normal. It's fine, I'll go back to sleep. Woke up 2 hours later in Blackpool. I did get a text from Hannah yesterday saying, yeah, I'm in Blackpool and I thought that I was going to Birmingham. So anyway, then had to buy another ticket to go to Preston, then Preston to Birmingham. What a rigmarole. Has anybody else ever fallen asleep on the train and ended up the wrong end of the country? Not good. Message from Pauline. Good morning, Pauline. How are you? Hi, Vicky. Looking forward to a week with you. Oh, thank you, Pauline in Cornwall. How are you? I bet you've had lovely weather. Lovely weather. Hello, Alan. Alan's messaged in. 15-year sewing anniversary today. Woo woo. That's amazing. Right, we're working on the split payments as well. We're working on it. That's going to be when we have our new system. So we've got our new studio now. We're getting there. We'll have a new system, new website, and split payments, which is going to be really, really exciting. I'm not putting a date on it because you know what things are like. Everything always ends up taking a bit longer. We wanted to be in our temporary studio for a few weeks. We ended up being there for 7 months because of COVID. So yes. We're back, we're here in our new studio. It's so exciting. Katharine came in and she says, this is brilliant. I bet you just keep pinching yourself. We feel really, really at home here now. Finally got our own home. And thank you so much for all of your lovely messages and bearing with us through technical problems. Hannah went away for 11 days and now it's all just seamless, isn't it? Do you love this new blue, gorgeous Michael Miller fabric? Just £7.99 half metre. The anniversary quilt, by the way, is on the website. If you do want to go to www.sewingstreet.com, you can find all of the products from today's show already listed there. And eagle eyes are already checking out. There it is. It's on the website. I think it comes with the panel, some fabric for your borders, and then also some templates to choose, you know, what number. It doesn't need to always be your 20th anniversary. And just letting you know, lots of people are already checking out on that. Let's do some other colours from Michael Miller. This is, again, this lovely blue. How about for nice little toiletry bags and gift ideas? Oh, that is really nice. This one, sorry, I forgot that you needed the code from me. Yeah, ends in 37. Oh, you're thinking clothes as well. Make nice blouse, it'd make beautiful yeah, maxi dresses, and actually teaming it with some more of your navies and deeper colours. It's going to look gorgeous. Morning, Elliot. Morning. How's our poll getting along? Because Paul needs to dance, you see. We've been desperate for this poll. We want to show off all of our lovely big quilts. So Elliot's our DIY bloke, and he's still getting over the problems with this. Have you got a new spirit level yet? And we're still waiting for his new spirit level because yeah, the other one was really wonky. The bubble fell out, didn't it? What is that bleep, Elliot? Can you hear it? Right, stay in here with me. There's something. That's it. Right, so we've got a kitchen set behind us. And if anybody's got one of those hobs at home, that is it an induction hob? Whereas if you put something on it, it bleeps at you. That's what it is. That's what it is. Thank you, Elliot. This is why we need Elliot, because we can't function, can we? He needs to be here at 5:45 in the morning. Okay, just to open the gate for us. It's Monday morning. Monday morning. Right, this time with the pinks. Oh, this is nice. Okay, this is your... Let me see if I can find the code. Do I think? I think it might. How will I know? Oh, sorry. This one is in 30. LRYV30, please. Okay, so this one has got beautiful peacock teal colours. Can we just ignore the fact that somebody has called this dirt? Who's called this dirt? Because what were they? This is not. We've got so many beautiful names for brown. Heritage quilts that come in these lovely colours. And can we just ignore the fact? You know, this is coming into autumn. This is perfect for this time of year. Nobody wants a dirty bag, you know, dirt coloured bag. I made you a bag with some dirt coloured fabric. We could have called it any other name. Who is it that's naming these now? Because it used to be Cat. Can't blame Cat. These might actually be Michael Miller's colours actually, so I can't laugh too much because it's the designer. $7.99. $7.99.5 metre. See, that is a beautiful autumnal. This would look nice with like your oranges and your barley pops. It'd look really, really nice if you pull on some of those misty... What about misty blue with this? Because that is literally like misty blue on the leaves. £7, 99.5 metre. I think that's my favourite one. That is my favourite so far. I love that colour. And especially for this time of year, it's absolutely perfect. £7.99.5 metre. Come and message in. Come and say hello to us. Also, I think, Hannah, that we've also got the YouTube live chat, which is exciting now. So if... brilliant. So if you go on to... that's where we saw Tracy's message. If you are watching us on YouTube, you can also get involved in the live chat on YouTube. This is the deep navy blue. This is autumnal as well. This would make a nice autumnal dress. £0.5 metre. £0.5 metre is 112 wide. It's a poplin weight cotton. Sorry, I'm not doing this job of reading out the codes to you very well, am I? Lots of people also purchasing multiple meters of this. I'm wondering what projects you've got in mind. If you're thinking of larger projects, maybe soft furnishing, some lovely cushions would be beautiful in this. Remember, even though it's a lighter weight cotton, you still use this for really structured bags. What about quilted bags, like with your new wadding, or adding some Starville, or you know something? We had Decaville on yesterday, didn't we? £7, 99.5 metre. And that's for your Michael Miller, this time in navy, which makes sense. After Michael Miller, we're going to go on to some of the gradient fabric, which I know some of you have already started checking out on. This is your ending in 72, please. Ending in 72. I think this would be really, really beautiful for a bedroom, actually. little cushions, maybe a bolster cushion, storage boxes even for a workroom. You could cover like little, you know, like a little vanity stool, like a footstool or a headboard or something like that, or a blind even, like a Roman blind. $7.99 a half metre. That really reminds me of, you know, it gives a really beautiful Japanese influence, like cherry blossom colours especially. That is gorgeous. $7.99 a half metre. Do you know, for the first time ever, Paul, I'm really hot in here. Could we put the cool on? Have you ever heard me say that? Nope. I normally have it 30 degrees. When people come in here, they're like, whoa, we're in the desert. It's really hot. Whereas, no, today it's still warm, isn't it, actually? We've been really lucky. The weather's been lovely. You've had a great holiday weather, haven't you, Hannah? You've been on the beach every day. $7.99 a half metre. That's my favourite now. In fact, with the dirt colour, this would look really nice. See, that's never going to catch on, is it? Oh, in fact, what do you think with the anniversary quilt? That looks really, really nice as well, doesn't it? That looks really beautiful. That would be beautiful. That goes perfectly. Look at this fancy shot. Where are you? Up here? Oh my gosh, there's so many cameras. It's literally like Big Brother. Yeah, I was thinking, what is it? I was going to say surveillance cameras, but yeah, it's like Big Brother. Gosh, that was good. Okay, last one from Michael Miller. This time with the white and the blush pink purple, the most limited of these. This is now the most limited. Okay, if you want to take advantage of any of these, check out as soon as you can, because they're brand new in today and already extremely, extremely limited. Half a metre. Thank you. Just £7.99 a half metre. Lovely purples and pinks. Again, it is the poplin weight, 100% cotton, machine washable. When you're looking at Michael Miller, I always think of such beautiful, like, whimsical designs. This is a really pretty look. I love that word, do you? Whimsical. £7.99. Lots of people taking advantage of this and the early bird already this morning. Remember, only one postage and packaging all day long. So if you purchase the early bird, absolutely grab yourself half a metre or a metre of any of these fabrics. 2 fat quarters, remember, there's loads you're going to be able to do. It's nearly 1:30, so I'm going to start speeding up. Are you ready for the Gradiente fabric? What did you just call it? Gradiente. It's got an E on the end. This isn't gradient, this is Gradiente. That sounded like, it's not Leviosa, it's Leviosa. Oh, did I say that the same? Something like that. Really? Oh, so if you watch Harry Potter, apparently the first one, she's so young, isn't she? She obviously learned everybody else's lines as well as her own. You can imagine what she was like. And you can see her mouthing them at the other actors. Go on, it's your line. And then mouthing them at them. Oh, I'm going to watch that. Okay, so these are our colourways. How gorgeous are these? Beautiful bright colours, and same collection. These are your lighter, more pastel-y shades and with a slightly different print, but look at how beautiful they all are, all brand new today. Now these brand new fabrics are already extremely popular, which is great to say. We haven't even showed them on the telly yet. I know that we've got a lot of sort of seasoned quilters who are watching who know what scale prints they want, because these are so useful. I don't like to use the word blender because they'll be beautiful with standout fabrics, but they're going to be perfect when you don't want a solid, but you need those subtle, smaller scale prints. I know a lot of people are already checked out on them. It makes life really easy for us, to be honest, because you know what you're looking at. You know, I know that we've got real savvy people who are watching. You know what a great price point they are, and you know how important they are. So, which one shall we start with? The brights. Let's start with red. Maybe you're supplementing your Christmas fabrics. Thing is, this is a fabric that Sometimes you want other designer fabrics to sing, and you want other designer fabrics to go a bit further. £4.99 metre on this, and you've got beautiful tones on here. Can you see? It's not, let me show you, half a metre is all of that. There's a lot of fabric, and it's not just one colour. Can you see? It's quite tonal. That's not the cameras or the lighting in here, that is the fabric, that you've got all of these slightly different shades. It almost has a bit of a mottled effect in the background, which is again going to add even more beautiful texture. Plus then you've got the little sort of geometric print, which, if I show you, is a printed design, but the cotton is actually yarn dyed. So if I show you the back, I'll move this across, Paul, if that makes it easier. So you're getting those really, really lovely tones coming through. This is your Gradiente red for £4.99, and it is absolutely gorgeous quality. 100% cotton, printed in Japan. It is stunning, stunning colours. Not just, as I say, a solid red as you think at the start. It's got really great texture, not to the touch, to the eye, and that, as quilters, I know is extremely important in your stash. Just £4.99. Right, should we go for another real bright? This is a really bright yellow. It's called orange, but I think what it means is the pattern is orange, so your background is yellow, and then you've got this really lovely orange. Do you know what I want to do with this? A giraffe. Giraffe toy making. This is so pretty. Just a couple of half meters, different colourways to sort of supplement your stash, to go with lots of different fabrics in your stash already. Look at that. That is lovely. If you don't have a lot of yellow fabric in your stash, then that's going to look great. And I mean, we're seeing this as really bright fabric here, but just using smaller pieces in with any of your others, it's going to look great, isn't it? What about for your binding? With your Tula, it's going to look gorgeous. The Tula design roll that we've got later. Ignore the fact that it says orange, because it is, you can see that's definitely more of your yellow with orange detail. £4.99 metre. Unlike a lot of our sort of blender collections, we're not sure if we're going to be able to stock this as a staple on our website. So this is one of those that I say, look, grab whilst you can and get as much as you can whilst you can, because I don't know if this is going to be a collection that we are bringing back. I think this is just one of those that's an opportunity today, right now, for £4.99. Try it out. We've got purple and blue as well. Dark purple, which absolutely love. Purples are always very popular. I'm thinking for cushion backs or for linings. Please don't think that it's any lesser quality because I'm saying linings or backs, but because it is going to really let some of your designer fabric sing. Can you see those different shades you've got? It's very subtle, but works really, really well. This is your Gradiente dark purple. Go with lots of your lavenders. In fact, this will go with the collection that we've got with quite traditional fabrics, actually. We've got coming up before the end of this hour. £4.99 as well. Half metre, remember, is 112 wide. A lot of fabric for less than £5, especially as you've got lots of brilliant detail. As I said at the start, I don't like to call fabrics blenders, because you can absolutely use this as your solid main fabric, and you could applique onto it. You could use it as a applique. I'm thinking quite often we talk about applique with pattern fabrics, but what about using some lovely templates, using this to be your applique piece, the hearts or flowers, and putting them onto solid fabrics. They look amazing. What was that you said? Sorry, Hannah. Oh, beige yellow with these tones. Oh, nice. We did an amazing beige yellow with Sally Ann the other day from the Debbie quilting book. It was brilliant. £4.99 metre for your Gradiente dark purple. It's only £4.99, which is brilliant. We've then got our blue. Which is called teal. Oh, this is lovely. It's a really lovely blue. This is quite actually unisex. I think this would be lovely for gents projects as well. What about things like messenger bags, you call them, Paul, don't you? Messenger bags and tablet cases. It's quite techy, do you know what I mean? I'm really into my techie gadget bits and bobs at the moment. Laptop bags, absolutely. Cases, things like that. Those things are really expensive. They add up. When I've started my Christmas shopping now. I've started looking for, absolutely, it's not, what do you mean already? We're less than 100 days, way less than 100 days now, which actually, if you spread that out, there is not much time. We're almost in October, Paul. How are we almost in October? And I definitely don't want to be stood outside in shops, you know. The problem is at the moment, I'm still not quite sure of how it's going to be. I want to be extra prepared this year. And I was looking at buying Kieran a new folder to put laptop and things like that for work. And it was really, really expensive. I'm going to make my own, especially with the wadding. I mean, if you've got yourself some wadding, there's loads that you can do. And I think that's so much more personal as well. If you're making things, it's a really good idea. Just £4.99 half metre, because I can embroider like his initials on it, and oh. You're thinking of soft toy shark with this. I am thinking animal designs with these, like I said with the giraffe, and what about a whale or a shark? Even if you want to do things for you know, a teenager's bedroom, this is really, really great fabric. Just £4.99 in teal. Hi, Karen. Morning all. Morning, Karen. Just morning all. I was waiting for Hannah to say it more. Oh, she said good morning. How are you today? How are you, Karen? It's going to be nice and sunny again today, I think. Which is nice, isn't it? Nice to wake up on a Monday morning thinking, right, got another day of sunshine. Okay. These next load of colours, Together these look quite springtime pastel, really, really pretty colours. Whereas actually, I'm dissecting this slightly different now. I'm thinking, right, these colours, we know how difficult the greys have been to get hold of over the last few weeks. And these are the ones that, These are the ones, oh, okay, these are the ones Hannah said have already been selling on the website. Which, if you looked at these, and you don't necessarily know about fabric or quilting, you'd be like, really? Why are people sort of picking out these ones? Whereas actually, you know, well, you know when you know. This is the one of those, if you know, you know. They are so useful, they are so integral, they're so important, they're going to be so versatile. They're going to add lots of different textures and lots of different qualities to lots of different projects. It isn't just going to be for quilters. We know that these are going to be ideal for soft furnishing. We know that these are going to be absolutely brilliant for bag makers, for toy makers, for anybody who's doing soft toys. These are absolutely gorgeous. Right, let's go with the greys first. The print is changed to the last one. This is a different one. Now, this is one ending in 37. It's the same collection, but let's have a really close look at the print. This one is called Moss, which is a slightly greeny grey. It's still, I'd say, on that grey scale. But if I put it in comparison with this one, can you see that it's a slightly greener grey? Only very slightly. I wouldn't call it moss. Maybe if you're looking at it on the web, you're going by quite a green colour. They've all been popular, but these, for anybody who's stuck on their decision, maybe wanted to wait to see the colour on air. This is absolutely beautiful. It's £4.99, and can you see that you've got really gorgeous detail? That's nice, isn't it? This one is printed. This is printed. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And it's going to be perfect for lots of our decors. It's going to go with lots in your stash. I'm even looking, you know, behind me, the template quilt. This is going to go absolutely perfect if you want to get it for the back of it. Because in the kit you get enough for the front, you get the borders, you get all your applique bits and bobs, but you're going to need to back it with your choice of fabric. So these would be great, really, really lovely to put on the back. Grab what you can whilst you can, because I think it's the same with these, that even though we're calling them sort of, even though we're calling them blenders, I think that this is still one that we might not be able to have as a staple on our website all the time, so grab them whilst you can. Then our grey. I've got dark grey and I've got grey. Now, one's more purpley and one's more blue. So I will tell you the code. This is ending in 23, YDUI23. This one's grey. I'm going to show you them next to each other because it's a bit confusing, I think. That's grey and light grey. And this one's slightly different. So this one is grey and this one's called light grey. And it's very, very similar. I would say my difference is this one's more silvery and this one's more bluey, like more violety. So if you want your grey, both level pegging at the moment. I think a lot of people have been waiting to see them on air to make their decision, but really, really, really popular on the website. If you do want to call the customer service team, of course, you absolutely can, and you can purchase as much as you want. It will be cut off the bolt for you, and it's up to you how much you want. So if you're thinking of larger projects, this is ideal. £4.99 a half metre, and it's absolutely gorgeous again. Really, really lovely soft quality. Design printed in Japan at 100% cotton. Gorgeous little detail, ditzy print scale. So if you're thinking of doing smaller projects and you don't want to lose that ditzy print, then this is lovely. Because don't get me wrong, some of the Michael Miller ones are amazing, but if you're doing smaller projects, let me just show you, you're probably going to lose. If you're doing smaller projects, you're probably not going to be able to see this whole floral design. Whereas here, you're always going to see that scale of print. So that one's called grey. We've also got what is called light grey, which is slightly more violet. This is lovely. I'd say this is more bluey violet. I wonder which one would take the lead. Now we've kind of had a good look at them all. This one's really, really nice. Maybe it's depending on what project you have in mind as well. Again, this would be so beautiful for linings, for bags, for cushions, for cushion fronts, for cushion backs. Just a really neutral sort of colour. What about having it as scatter cushions and then using this sort of tones and greys or any of your Michael Millers as your big sort of standout cushion? These could be nice little scatter cushions. It's going to go a long way. If you've got any of maybe Debbie Shaw's half yard book or any of the Wendy Gardner fat quarter books, remember half a metre is equivalent to 2 fat quarters. £4.99 a half metre. This one's called light grey. I know if you have a look on the web, there could be lots of different sort of shades of grey. It's almost like a red, isn't it? Where you see lots of different shades. When I'm physically looking at them, there's a real clear difference. You've got like a greeny grey, a more silvery grey, and a bluier grey. So can you see there's quite a clear difference, whereas this one, just so you're aware, is called on our website light grey. £4.99 a half metre, and that's 1 P&P all day. Go on, what's your special camera move? Oh, Hollywood, that's why he gets paid the big bucks. That was very good. Yeah, he says, well, I don't get paid, I just come here for fun. £4.99, oh, what's that? £4.99 a half metre. Isn't that gorgeous? That is really, really nice with really pretty ditzy prints. Just £4.99. Let's go on to the other colours. So we've got some blues, we've got pinks and purples, and we've got that lovely bright yellow again. Sky blue, ending in 49. Interestingly, the one in 58 is called what? The one in 58. 58, yeah. Oh, okay, so this one's your other blue. It's like a sea foamy blue, and this one's more of your sky aquary blue. So this one, I'll do them next so it doesn't get confusing. £4.99. This is Gradiente sky blue fabric, brand new in today. We're calling it a mixer, but do you know, we all understand how important these are to our stash, and it's not actually we don't have very many on the website. We've got the ones that are like your mottle effect, you know, your blenders. I think are they called mixers on the website? Blenders. You know, the mottle ones. But there's not very many ones that have got this really lovely detailed subtle print. £4.99 a half metre. 112 wide. What was that? Is that what it's called? 8:45 on a Monday morning if you're just waking up with us. Thank you for spending your Monday morning with us. Did you have a lovely weekend? I know we all had to figure out how to get here this morning. There was a lot of problem solving for a Monday morning at 6 a.m. There was, but we made it, didn't we, the three of us? Just about. All our roads have been closed this morning, and yeah, Hannah's taxi driver was loving it, wasn't he? He was really struggling with the way here. So were we, Paul, weren't we? It wasn't a great route, but we made it. Katharine didn't seem to find any problem. And I said to her, oh, well, you came off the motorway. All the roads closed. She was like, oh, no, Mum, I'm fine. Like, they're closed today. Oh, okay. £4.99 a half metre. Remember, this is your sky blue, which is slightly different to the aquary blue, which I'll show you next. So, this is your aqua blue. No. It's 58, I think, ending in 58. So this one doesn't have a colour name on the website. It's just called Gradiente. You name it what you want. This is the one that you get to choose, whatever you call it. I'm calling it Seafoam. I'm calling this Mermaid Blue. It's beautiful. Oh, bath water. It's like, not bath water. Hannah called it bath water, and sometimes I shouldn't. I should think, repeat. But she says before I get in, after. What's this one called again? It is like that. Absolute honeymoon Maldives sea. Oh, we had a lady who was watching on Saturday, I wonder whether she's watching today, who has retired to the Mauritius. And this is what I imagine the water to be like in Mauritius. Oh, so she was watching us. She says she watched every day. She says, we need to get shipping to Mauritius, please. And we said that we will hand deliver it for her. I will personally do that for you. Absolutely. £4.99 a half metre. Where are you watching from? Let me know. Let me know where you are today. Are you on the move? You're watching on YouTube? You're watching on Freeview? Let me know where you're watching. Okay, they're watching from the gallery, they keep telling me. On the telly, 16 monitors. Oh no, do you know what? They always say the camera adds £10 and I've got 1, 2, 3. How many cameras have we got on me now? You're watching me on 16 monitors. Oh dear, we don't need to talk about it, do we? £4.99. This is your Gradiente colour choice of colour. It's up to you. We've got to type it, but it's that lovely seafoamy aqua greeny blue. It's so beautiful. Maybe it was when Hannah was in charge of doing it when she was on the train to Blackpool. Sounds like you've had an eventful holiday then, or was it just the last day? Did everything else run smoothly? Oh yeah, let's do the pink, which is in 97. 97. This is like a salmony pink. It's so pretty. Oh, it is salmon pink. There we go. Salmon pink, absolutely perfect, like a corally pink. It's lovely. And it's only £4.99 a half metre again. It's the poplin weight, which is just slightly lighter weight cotton. Just £4.99. Whether you're choosing this for any of your patchwork, or whether you're choosing this for bag making, or if you're loving it again with soft toy making, soft furnishing, cushions, It's going to be so versatile and will go with a lot in your stash. Just £4.99 a half metre. It's absolutely gorgeous quality. Hello Angie, good morning, how are you? You're watching in Great Yarmouth. Oh, I was talking about Great Yarmouth on Saturday. I love Great Yarmouth. I was telling the story that when my parents took me to Spain, me and my sister to Spain when we were young, and we always used to holiday in Great Yarmouth, and they didn't tell us that we weren't going to Great Yarmouth. They said we were going to Great Yarmouth. We were actually going to the airport to Spain, and they said, we've got a surprise, we're going on a plane. And then we both cried the whole way there because we didn't want to go to Spain. We wanted to go to Great Yarmouth. So I have a real soft spot for Great Yarmouth. I love it there. Just remember watching Punch and Judy on the beach. Just £4.99. We want to go to Yarmouth. We don't want to go to Spain. And we were crying at the airport. They were so excited about telling us that we were going to Spain. Oh, yeah, Hannah saying there's lots of videos online now of children that are crying like, oh, we don't want to go to Disneyland. Imagine. £4.99 a half metre. This is your yellow, lovely bright yellow. Ending in 74, please. So, do you know, this would go with the orange. You can see that it's slightly deeper. It's slightly lighter than, this one was called orange, wasn't it? Orange, Gradiente orange, but just so you can see the difference. That is a lovely sunshine yellow. And we said, look, you don't need to see this as a big half metre of yellow. If you're subcutting it into smaller pieces and incorporating it with other fabrics, it's going to look completely different. Give you a nice bright yellow. £4.99 a half metre. Oh my word, this hour is absolutely flown by. We've got Katharine eagerly awaiting in the wings. We've got loads going on today. We are making sure everybody has a great start to the week, Monday morning. Those of you that managed to get the early bird today, well done. Keep checking out on that because it is probably the biggest early bird we've done since we came over to the new studio, which is brilliant. So that's £4.99 for the yellow. We've then got the purple. Last one of your Gradiente. I know I've got other fabrics here, but we will try and move those into the next hour if that's okay. I know that we wanted to spend some nice time looking at these brand new fabrics for everybody. Just £4.99. That's a really lovely, almost like Parma Violets. I'll show you with the difference of the dark, there's dark purple and that one's light purple. Just £4.99, 112 wide. Such a pretty little ditzy print. I'm even thinking if you're doing hand sewing, like any English paper pieces. Just £4.99. Remember, that's what half a metre looks like, but it will be cut off the bolt for you. So you can have as much as you want. Just £4.99. We love to have your company, honestly. It's great to have so much interaction on a Monday morning. Come in and say hello to us. Or if you've got any questions later on for Katharine, this is probably the best way to do it. Hannah's got the email ready and open. So if there's anything that you would like to say or ask Katharine, then let us know. It's studio@sewingstreet.com. So I mentioned today's early bird. Look at this. Whew, you've got so much wadding. Right, it's actually quite difficult to even show you how much is here. This is going to be brilliant for any of your UFOs. Maybe you've done lots of quilt tops and you haven't yet quilted them. I'm even thinking smaller projects. Don't think, oh, do you know what? I haven't got any queen-size quilts that need quilting. It's not going to suit me today's early bird. Whereas actually, lots of small projects are going to be brilliant for this. Whether it be quilted jackets, whether it be cushions or bags or purses. There is so much that you can do. We all have different personal preferences of what waddings we prefer, whether that be bamboo or wool, whether it be polyester, whether it be cotton. What I love about this is that it's your 80-20 blend. So you're getting the affordability, but yet still you're getting cotton, 80% cotton in there. And you can easily chuck this in the wash. It has got that polyester content. So it's still going to be lovely for machine washing. It does suggest on the front of the packet to hand wash this first. So don't put this in your washing machine. Maybe put it in the bath or do a bit of research into washing your wadding. Again, that's another sort of personal preference of what you prefer. But it says to stitch up to 10, was it? 10 inches, which is brilliant. So the minimum or the maximum quilting, stitch up to 10 inches apart, which is fantastic if you don't want to do lots and lots and lots and lots of quilting. By all means, you absolutely can, but that's when it won't sort of fall apart, basically, is if you do it 10 inches apart, which a lot of waddings will suggest 3 inches apart, so up to 3 inches, which is obviously a lot more sort of dense quilting. If you're thinking my machine isn't really suitable for quilting, a lot of quilting on a big quilt, whereas this is going to be ideal for that. $39.99, and remember, today you are saving £5. It's super, super soft, your cotton blend wadding, queen size, which is 90 inches by 108, but never get rid of any. It's like your fabrics, it's always a great stash builder, it's a necessity for any quilter, actually. It's always part of your sort of staple stash. So keep any little bits, because for smaller projects as well, this is ideal. Just £39.99 today as your early bird special. It's one of the biggest early birds that we've done, certainly the biggest since we've been here in the studio, so we absolutely love it. Now we're going to be coming back with Katharine and with a really, really lovely quick quilting project. It's not very often that we talk about quick quilts. It's not very often I say those two words in the same sentence, whereas actually I'm thinking for anybody who is brand new to quilting, or for anybody who, if you know you're busy and it's somebody's birthday coming up or anniversary, wedding anniversary coming up, this is going to be absolutely perfect. Or if you're thinking, right, actually, I've got to the point now, I spend so much time doing the patchwork that I'm not as adventurous as I'd like to be on the quilting side of it. So maybe if you're thinking, right, I just want a simple piecing project, but then I want to be able to go to town on my quilting. We're going to be talking about free motion in a minute with Katharine. We're going to be talking about how to construct it. Also, we're going to be talking about, well, loads of different techniques. So please, please do get in touch with us and let us know what it is that you'd like to see or any ideas that you have for it. Don't go anywhere. Katharine's going to be joining me. Check out on the early bird and we'll see you in a few minutes. Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
Hello, I'm Katharine Wright. I'm from Leicestershire Craft Centre, which is based in Market Harborough. I love all kinds of sewing, but probably my favourite thing to do is dressmaking, but I also teach patchwork and free motion embroidery and anything to do with textiles really. I love to have a go at felting and crochet and knitting and, oh, you name it, I'll have a go at it. So I started sewing when I was 7. My mum taught me to sew, and the very first thing I made was an apron. But I'm a terribly impatient person. I just want to get on with the project. So I didn't wait for her to help me cut it out, and I cut it out myself. And I didn't know you had to have a seam allowance. So I made the world's smallest apron, and my mum still has it somewhere. Sewing tips, I would say, I teach a lot of people to sew, especially beginners, and I would say don't get disheartened, take your learning journey slowly. Don't expect to suddenly make a ball gown or suddenly make a king size quilt. Build up your skills, you know, slowly. And I would also say the iron is your friend. Use your iron a lot. It makes your sewing look so much better. It helps you get things in place where you want it before you sew, and is a really handy thing to have.
Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw, and as a professional sewer, I really know how important it is to use a high quality thread. Well, you think about it. You spend a lot of money on your sewing machine, you'll spend a lot of money on fabric, and you'll spend a lot of time sewing. So why let your thread let you down? I know a lot of our designers and customers prefer to use Aurifil thread. Now, this is a family business. It was established in 1983 and they're based just outside Milan in Italy. They produce superior quality threads for domestic and professional sewers alike, and they've achieved worldwide success with quilters, sewers, embroiderers and textile artists who all appreciate the versatility and the strength of these threads. It's all made from Egyptian cotton, which is grown just at the side of the River Nile, and Aurifil only use the long staple threads, which gives their thread that strength. Each one of these threads goes through 15 steps before it even gets onto a spool and then comes to you to use in your sewing projects. Now at Sewing Street, we've collaborated with Aurifil and we've brought you two collections of threads. So we have the Quilters Collection, and these are exclusive to Sewing Street. We've done a lot of research with quilters, and these are the colours that you prefer to use. So we put a whole collection together for you. The second collection is the Essential Collection. So this is for the homemakers, for the bag makers, for the craft sewers, for the dressmakers. And again, these have been proven to be the most popular colours that you're going to use. So if you want your projects to last longer and your seams to be stronger, invest in some quality thread.
Did you know that if you shop with Sewing Street, you're only going to pay one lot of postage all day? That's one payment of £3.95, no matter what you're buying. And you can check out as many times as you like without having to pay another delivery charge. So shop online at www.sewingstreet.com, or you can order via our call centre, which is 0800 001 4433.
Welcome back, welcome back. Hope you're having a lovely Monday morning. If you're just waking up with us, oh, I don't blame you, having a bit of a snooze in this morning. I don't normally generally snooze my alarm, especially when we get up really, really early. I have to just throw myself out of bed. But this morning I did do an extra 5-minute snooze, and it's one of those, isn't it? Monday morning, me and Katharine were just saying, it's a bit more we're a bit more sluggish in the morning, but it's great to have your company, and we're starting your week with a bang. If you're with your cup of tea and having a bit of a think about projects in the future, or right, have you got somebody's special wedding anniversary that's coming up, or know somebody that's celebrating a wedding anniversary, and you're thinking, do you know what, I haven't got them a present, and there's only so many photo frames or different things that I can get for them. Whereas actually, if you want to make something really, really special, we've never ever done anything quite like this, and it's so perfect. You can personalize it and embellish it as much as you want, and it's all in one pre-printed panel, which is brilliant, exclusive to us as well. So this is the one that you've seen on the wall, which has already been selling on the website. It's called Cream. Now that's only half of it. You get a massive, massive panel. So you get this plus, I mean, let me open it all out. So you're getting the panel itself has got the happy and wedding, obviously wedding anniversary, which you're then going to be changing to whatever number you want, whether it be a first, whether it be a 30th, whether it be a 60th wedding anniversary. You're going to be able to, of course, amend it and do your applique to whatever you want. The detail on it, though, is absolutely gorgeous. The border that's going around with the gorgeous flowers and really ditzy print spot as well. I'm not sure whether you can just see that on camera, but it's not solid white. It's actually got a really, really lovely detailed spot. So, are you ready for the graphics? Sorry, our graphics are incorrect. For some reason, it's they've mistyped and not put the 1, so it's $17.99. And I'll tell you for why in a minute. So the code on this one is VBX C 47. And you get this massive panel. You get all of the borders around the edge. You also get your fur or the ND, or depending on whether it's the first. We're also going to put an ST on there as well, so it will come with the so if you want to do, for example, your first or 21st wedding anniversary, they will come there as well. So you've got, obviously, if you want to do 3rd, you've got that option. If you want to do 10th, you've got that option, and you will have the option as well of being able to put on ST at the end. So then you've also got your lovely fabrics to go around your borders. Absolutely. Plus, you're getting your wadding. You get your premium polyester craft wadding. Now, it's up to you whether you want to keep this for your stash and use maybe your early bird, depending on what you're using it for. We'll talk to Katharine about different ways of using the panel and what ideas we have for it. So that's your craft wadding that comes with the kit. Plus, you also then get all of your templates. All of the templates. Now, obviously, when you're bonder webbing it on, you need it in the reverse. So we've done this for tele purposes so you can see the right way, but they will be sent to you in reverse so that then you can obviously applique them so that they're going the right way, if that makes sense. And these are exclusive to us. So all of your numbers as well. Now, sorry, I don't have graphics for this one because the price is wrong, but it's £17.99 whether you want to speak to the team. It's also on the website, and it is on the website at the correct price. It's just our tele graphics, so don't worry about that. Just a quick reminder, your item code for this one is V. V for Victor. B for Bravo. X for X-ray. C for Charlie. 47. Sorry about that. Right, so that is option 1. We also have option 2, which again, you will need to speak to the customer service team for. Monday morning, I told you, I think we're all a bit sluggish. The computer system's on go slow as well. Paul's like, at least we got here. You're very positive today, Paul. Positive Paul. So the other option you need to speak to the customer service team for. They're so lovely. They're down the road. It's free to call from landline or mobile. You'll need to just tell them the red anniversary panel kit if this is the colourway that you want. So your code, are you ready to jot it down? V for Victoria. V. A for Apple. X for X-ray. C for Charlie. 69. Have you got it? Have you jotted it down? The only difference with this one is your colours. So these are slightly more of your burgundy as opposed to the roses, which are, again, really, really pretty, subtle difference. But this one is £17.99 for your panel, your quilt wadding, and of course also all of your applique pieces, which is great value for money. You can do a quilt for less than £20. If you go and have a look in shops for, you know, glasses that have got a 60th wedding anniversary or picture frame or things, surely you're looking at about paying £20. Whereas this is £17.99, and you can make something that's so special and so unique and so personal. You can embroider people's names on. You've got loads of different ideas of what we can do with it. But please remember, call the customer service team for any help at all. Now also, we've got some backing fabric options. It's up to you. I know a lot of people have got lots of fabric in their stash that they might want to use. We wanted to keep the price as low as possible. Sorry, my folding is not good this morning. But we couldn't not talk about the calico. This is your Quilters pre-shrunk calico, which is great quality. And I just thought, you know, if it's going to be on the wall, if it's going to be a wall hanging, then this is so affordable. It's going to look lovely as well. And because it's pre-shrunk, it's really soft. It's a lot softer than if you were to use just your plain calico. And look at the price. It's such great quality and such a great price at £249.5 metre. Also suitable for things like rag dolls. If you're making rag dolls, this is going to be lovely. It is a lot softer, as I say, than the calico that we talk about to make your toiles with. So it is lovely. Lots of people have already spotted this on the website. It's back in stock by the half metre. loads of projects this is going to be perfect for, but for your backing quilts, it's perfect. Now, to back the panel, you need 1 metre, which is 2 units, so that's still less than £5. How good's that? We've also got some solid colours, which will go really, really nice with both colourways. Maybe, I'll talk to Katharine in a minute, but maybe other uses for it as well. But all 3 colours are going to go perfectly. This is your grey. Grab your grey whilst you can, because we've really struggled to get any elephant colourway in stock, and it's again beautiful quality Rose and Hubble fabric, 100% cotton. This is your quilting weight for just £3.49. Hannah says put it in your trunk. She's good at the elephant jokes. She never forgets the elephant jokes. She's back, she's on fire. I think she's still drunk from her 11-day holiday. Just £3.49.5 metre. I know all of the management are in the office today. Okay, Paul, you say that very loud in my ear. £3.49.5 metre. He's now continuing with the elephant jokes in my ear, if you hadn't already guessed. So that's elephant. We've also got your blush pink. This is blush. It goes with both the panels, both colour options. This is going to go beautifully with. You need 1 metre again, remember, which is 2 units, so £3.49.5 metre. If you do want to back your quilt, then this is going to be perfect for that. It's a good chance, I think, with these panels. My first quilt project was a panel. And it's a really good chance to practice your quilting as well. We're going to talk about different ways of quilting it and different embellishments that you could do. Or maybe you want to do some hand stitching over the top. There's lots of options. If you want to do some binding, I know that Katharine bagged this quilt out, but if you do want to do binding, grab yourself some extra as well for some binding. Good idea. £3.49.5 metre. And then the last option is your crimson, which looks really nice, particularly with the red, which is your second option that we had. This is just great to have full stop in your stash, ready for Christmas. Whenever we do Christmas shows, this colour always sells out. So stock up whilst you can. £3.49.5 metre, 100% cotton, crimson colour. That lovely deep red, and as I say, that goes really nicely with both of the panels, but especially the second red option. Speak to the team. That's £3.49. You can get all these on our website. These are all sort of staple ones on the web, so you can absolutely take advantage as much as you want. For the back of this panel, just a reminder, you need 1 metre. Brilliant. Is there anything else that I need to mention? Let's speak to Katharine. How are you, Katharine? Morning.
Very well, thank you. Yes.
Jolly good.
New studio.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I've got so much space.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I think we're all just still sort of pinching ourselves that we're actually in. It's brilliant. So it's lovely to have you with us.
Thank you.
And 2 really quick quilts today.
Absolutely, and I quite like a quick quilt. Yeah, I haven't got time to do big things that take months and months and months. So really nice to have projects that you can do fairly quickly. And this one is great for practicing your quilting skills.
Lovely.
Yeah.
This is it's something that it's like you say, I always think I haven't got the time. I've seen such beautiful quilt designs and think, when am I going to get around to finishing it? So something like this, I know that I'm going to be able to do it in an afternoon. It's going to be a weekend project that I'm going to be able to do and complete.
Yeah, and you can do as much or as little as you like,
okay,
just depending how confident you feel. I think it's a really good one if you've never done free motion before. You can have a go with it, and without sort of having to handle a really massive piece of fabric. You've got, well, I'll talk about it as I'm demonstrating it, but you've got like outlines to help you to follow, which is helpful when you're learning to do it. Of course, if you're an expert, you can absolutely go to town on it.
Oh, yeah.
And do something really gorgeous.
Oh, you could do, I'm thinking like hand stitching some embroidery over some of the flowers.
I think that would be nice. You could add little beads.
Absolutely.
There's loads of stuff you can do to really personalise it, absolutely.
So was it your 20th wedding anniversary?
I did 20 because it's my 20th wedding anniversary this year.
Oh,
yes,
congratulations.
in November.
That's amazing.
Well, we haven't quite got there yet. We've still got a couple of months, haven't we? But Yeah, we'll be all right.
It's lovely to be able to gift, I think, for somebody who has got a special anniversary coming up. I think this would make a really, really special gift.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something a little bit different, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so would you potentially think about this as a wall hanging, or how would you
Well,
use it?
yes, you could. I haven't on this one, but you could add a runner along the back, so you could stick a pole through. You could add tabs, so that you could hang it up. There's lots of ways that you could do it, or you could just leave it as a nice little throw.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
somewhere over the back of a chair, on the end of your bed.
Oh,
Yeah.
really, really nice.
Yeah.
So the pre-printed panel comes with obviously your panel, plus then you get the borders.
Yes. Right, so shall I show you where to
Absolutely.
start? We shall start with the applique part. So your nifty bonder web is what you need to do great applique.
So what is it that's actually appliqued onto this quilt? Is
So
it
the numbers.
the numbers?
It's the numbers and the little th.
Okay.
I'm going to do 7th today.
Right, okay.
For no apparent reason, just because. So I have drawn round my number 7, obviously reversed, because it flips when you cut it out and put it onto your base. And then I've also got a little square of bonder web for the th. And the thing to remember with bonder web is it's got a rough side to it. The rough side always goes down onto the wrong side of your fabric. If you get it the wrong way around, you mess up your iron. It's all right, the leads just got caught. There we go.
Plugged in. I think it's lovely to be able to, you know, sometimes if you're looking for an anniversary gift, they all do 1st anniversary, they might do 20th anniversary, they might do 30th or 60th. But if it's somebody's 7-year anniversary,
Yeah.
you can never find anything
No,
that
this
says 7 years.
It's quite nice to be able to do absolutely any number you like.
Absolutely.
So we're going to iron this on the wrong side. You've got a lovely long bit of plain red for doing your numbers.
Yeah.
So you never know, if anyone's got up to 3 digits, you could get it on.
Oh, wow.
I don't think anyone would get that high, would they? Right. So now, obviously the lettering is very spindly.
Okay.
I did not attempt to cut that out really
No.
carefully. I've cut round it. I did a square on that one, but this one I'm going to just sort of do a nice shape round.
Just so you know, we've got the large bonder web on a roll, which is 5 metres on a roll. That's available on the website. I think there is also, oh no, sorry, there you go. That's the large 5 metre roll. But we've also got a smaller packet available that's available on the website, which is 1 metre. Also, the cream panel, which is the one that was already, is it the one that is already made up, the cream?
Yes.
So cream's the one that's already made up, and that's the one with the more rose colour. And then red is the one that you're working with, isn't it?
Yes, I thought the slightly deeper colours would show up nicely on the television for people.
So you've done your bonder web.
So I've
piece onto
ironed that
it.
on and I'm just carefully cutting it out. Now, it's quite good practice for your applique skills because these numbers are quite fancy, which is what makes them look so nice, but also quite delicate.
Yeah, yeah, be
for
careful
cutting
with
out.
them.
So you've just got to do it carefully.
Would you use your paper scissors to cut out
I am
bonder web?
using my fabric scissors actually,
Okay.
just because it's on the I wouldn't if I was just cutting the bonder web by itself. I'd use my paper scissors, but once it's on the fabric, it's kind of okay to use your fabric scissors because your paper scissors won't work on your fabric.
Yeah.
No, not if you're looking after them.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get our panel out and then we can iron our numbers on. And of course, when you come to sew round your applique, this is an opportunity you don't have to just do a straight stitch, you can do a zigzag stitch, you can get on your fancy stitches on your machine.
So
Entirely
you're
up
peeling
to
off
you.
now
I
the
am.
back.
It's
Do you
like
need to let it cool down at home? Is it easier to peel off once it's cooled?
Yes, can be, that's it. It's just getting into it sometimes. It's like double-sided sticky tape,
Yeah.
finding the end, isn't it? But it's very satisfying when it comes off.
The red one, by the way, that Katharine is working with, we haven't seen the graphics for. We got the graphics. Brilliant. It's not on the website, but you need to ring the customer service team. You can still get it. We're going to keep the cream graphics in, which is the one that's already been made up for the show. because the one that is hanging behind Katharine is very, 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 very popular. But the red option that you can see that Katharine working with is available with the customer service team. You need to speak to the team about the code. What is it that you're doing there?
So I am just carefully, I've just planned where I want my number.
How do you get it central?
Well, do you know what? I've done it by eye. I do everything by eye. I'm rubbish at measuring things. But I always figure if it looks all right for yourself by eye, then it's usually okay. If you wish to be particularly careful about it, yes, you can measure. So there we are. That looks okay. That looks nice and central. Yeah. So, okay. So we're going to stitch. I'm going to stitch round. I am going to just use a straight stitch just to go quickly round the edges to hold it on. You don't have to. You can leave it like that, but it will eventually peel off. So you want to do some kind of stitching. I actually think it would be lovely if you had lots of time to hand stitch these.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could do a really nice blanket stitch around the edge of it. Look lovely, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
But obviously you don't want to spend half an hour watching me do that right now. So
we'll
put that one out there for you to have a go at home.
It's actually a good idea to do that shape around the TH, so that then you can just stitch around. And are you using a complementing, the matching thread, or are you using a contrast?
I'm using the one that is on the machine, which is a slightly contrasting lemony colour.
So at home, would you suggest using one that stands out, or?
I think it depends how confident you feel about your applique stitching. If you are confident you're going to do a really great job and it's going to look lovely, or you're doing something decorative that you want to show up, then I'd say use a complementary one. If you're a little bit anxious because maybe you have not done a huge amount of this, make it match. And then if you are slightly wobbly, it won't matter because you won't really see it. Because these are slightly fiddly to go round because they are just quite thin shapes. So, but actually the lemon's quite nice.
Does it look nice?
It does.
There you go, happy accident.
There's a lot of happy accidents in sewing, aren't there?
There are.
So
I think Delphine's got that in her workroom. She's got it on somebody made something stitched, an embroidery piece that's stitched. There's never a mistake. It's always a happy accident, which is true.
So the trick to being nice and accurate with your applique is to pick a point on your machine foot, either a little groove or a notch or the gap in between. That is where you're lining the edge of your fabric up with.
Right.
And that will help you to keep nice and even all the way around.
But like you say, I mean, this is going to be a good chance to do, you could do any of your satin stitches or your blanket stitch, any decorative stitches on your machine.
Yeah, so you know what, we have these lovely machines with all these fancy stitches and we don't always get the opportunity to try them all out. So this is actually a panel that you could really go to town with it and use lots of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you get to a corner, are you just keeping your needle down and pivoting the panel?
Absolutely, yeah. So sometimes, like on a rounded corner like this one where I'm coming up to now, you might need to do that a couple of times. Just keep adjusting it. When it's a sharp corner, you can't necessarily steer it all the way around. I quite like
That's what's good about this machine, is that it just naturally stays down, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good feature on the modern machines that your needle stays down in the right place, then you don't get a funny loop where you shouldn't. Right, okay, so I've gone round my 7 and I would do the same on the I'm not going to, I'll go on to the next bit so we can get the strips on and get onto the quilting part. So, but that looks quite nice.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
Yes. Okay, now obviously we've got to just trim down our panel to the right size. You can rotary cut it. I'm using my scissors just because of the space and because it's quite large. You know, you need a pretty big cutting mat. But when you do come to sew it, if you've not cut it out perfectly, you can sew it straight.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a good size panel actually. So
I don't think we've done anything like this before. I think it's such a good idea.
I don't think I've ever seen an anniversary thing.
No.
No, it's a really nice idea.
And I really like the printing of the.
I'm cutting through your ironing thing.
Oh no!
No, not really. Well, only slightly. You might not be able to hang it up anymore. So now, and then we're going to stitch the strips on.
How wide are they? Are they?
Well, that's a very good question. I think they're 10 centimetres each.
Yeah.
I would guess.
Because I think the finished, we haven't measured the finished size. The panel is 80 centimetres by 20 centimetres, but I'm not sure what the finished size is. But it's a lovely size, like you say, to have as maybe somebody next year. Even I'd get ahead of everything and think, right, if we're going to be able to celebrate, or somebody who had a special anniversary this year and maybe you weren't able to celebrate. Nice to be able to do a gathering of parties. They're lovely decorations, aren't they, to hang on the wall.
Really nice. We sadly not getting many nice parties at the moment, are we?
No.
But oh my goodness, when we do, we're going to be going for it, aren't we? There'll be so many lovely things to catch up on. But I think, if there's something, especially, say you've got grandparents or something that are having like quite a big anniversary, but you can't go and see them at the moment, it'd be so nice to send them something personal like this.
Absolutely. This would be a nice one to do, actually, with children, with grandchildren, or, it'd be really nice.
Yeah, you could actually do it with children. You could get them to hand stitch some things on it as well.
Oh, yeah, so I'm thinking, right, 20th anniversary, what's the 20th anniversary? What's
the thing?
The
I think it's China.
Oh, is it China? I wonder what 7 years is. Because all I'm thinking
I just thought of a 7-year itch.
We're thinking of the Jewellery Maker website. It's the same website. So if it is like I'm trying to think of any and they've all gone out of my head. What's sapphire or ruby?
Oh, sapphire's a lot, isn't it?
Yes.
Is ruby 50?
Googling it.
I don't know, haven't got that far. Right.
Well, I'm at paper at the moment.
What's paper? One.
One
Oh,
year.
that's good.
Made it first year. What was that? Sorry, Hannah. Yellow sapphire is 7th, or golden beryl. There you go. Have a look on the Jewellery Maker website. Even if it isn't necessarily golden sapphire, but yellow little beads would be really pretty. How many is emerald? 20. 20 is emerald.
20 is emerald. Well, now I know what I need to be getting.
Absolutely.
Simon, if you're watching.
Not just China. These are the gemstone ones. I think there might be China on there as well. But
when I got my wedding ring, my lovely husband, and he is lovely, he said to me, well, I've bought you 2 rings now. Don't expect any more.
Oh, 20 years is a big one though, isn't it?
Well, I think we were going to go on a really nice holiday somewhere, but of course that's not going to happen, so.
An emerald ring will have to do. So you're just sewing this with a quarter of an inch, see?
I'm actually just using the edge of my machine foot. It doesn't have to be massively precise, this. Just make sure you use the same seam allowance on each one. So you want to put your long side panels on first, and then the ones across the bottom. Else they won't fit. You've got to put them on that way round.
Hannah's getting really into finding out all of these different... what's the 5th wedding anniversary? Wood.
Wood? Oh, that's not very exciting, is it?
No. Flowers is what, sorry? 4th? It's brute/flowers. Fruit.
Fruit. Oh, you'd be a bit upset if you got given like a bunch of bananas, wouldn't you?
Yes. 7th is copper and wool. Yeah, there's lots, isn't there?
You get, because you get the traditional gifts, don't you? But there's also like a modern version as well.
Yeah, 20th is China, which is I think the traditional one.
Yeah, I don't think I really want
the
any
modern
new
one's
China.
a PlayStation 5.
Is it?
I'm only joking.
That's, yeah, Simon might want one of those.
Have you been dating for a week? Paul's saying, what's a 1 week anniversary for me?
A 1 week anniversary.
Ooh. Oh, we say no, I wish. Still single, everyone. Still single. Ready to mingle. Oh, I know. We've had no social interaction for how long? Poor Paulie's certainly ready to mingle.
Okay, let's give those a quick press. As soon as you get these borders on, it just really brings it to life, that a little splash of colour, don't you think?
Oh, it does. Is there a particular way that you're pressing your seams?
I'm actually pressing it towards the slightly darker one,
Okay.
just because then it's not going to show through. But you just want to get them nice and flat. Again, it doesn't need to be anything too fancy. It's not like you're going to match pieces.
No.
As in patchwork.
The colours are beautiful though. Like you say, it just really brings out all of the different...
I really like this deeper red. I think it makes it pop a little bit, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So it's looking nice. Let's pop it like that.
I do like this colour. This is the red colourway, just so you know, which you need to call the customer service team for. I will let you know the details. The red graphic is the one on your screen. You do need to speak to the customer service team though, which is free to do so if you're calling landline or mobile in the UK. You can make the most of either of them. Get both of them. Stock up whilst you can, because it's not something we do very often.
I'm going to just put the grey strip along the top just so you can see how it all looks together.
Oh, nice.
The two colours together, and then we'll pop the wadding on and do a little bit of quilting just to get the idea.
Also, the wadding that you get with it is a different shape, isn't it? So we'll get to that.
It's a slightly
as well.
different shape, yeah, but there's a number of ways that you can make it work. So
Oh,
I
brilliant.
can
So it's not a
talk you
problem.
through those. No, it isn't a problem at all. It's the right size, just not the right shape, but we can easily fix it. And actually, it's very useful to know how to do that, because
we'll get
then
scrap
you
bits
can
of wadding,
use
don't we?
up your wadding in lots of other projects. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
So does that fit all across?
So
or
that
do you
fits
need to
all
trim it
across.
down?
You've actually got a little bit
Bit of
left over
excess.
that you can trim off.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a lovely first project for somebody, isn't it? A quilting project who, or like you say, if people have done some quilting but actually want to, patchwork, but want to practice their quilting. This is a great one.
Because I love patchwork. I do really love patchwork, but I'm not so fond of the quilting bit. I think mainly because I think it's going to take a really long time. So to have something small that you think, oh, actually, I can just spend an afternoon and it's done, or a couple of hours and I've done what I need to do, then that's good. But it also gives you, gives you a chance to practice those quilting skills.
Absolutely. I always just find that sometimes, because I've done a lot of patchwork, I think I'm going to ruin it if I try out a new quilting technique, whereas actually smaller projects, smaller quilts, especially on my machine, actually, I'd think, oh, free motion on a big quilt is going to be quite challenging.
It really is a big challenge. Yeah.
Whereas this is achievable, isn't it? But it's still a quilt.
You can control it and manage it much more easily. Okay, let's just trim that end off.
Looking good already, isn't it?
So it looks nice when you get that grey on as well, just to show you how it looks. Okay, so there are lots of different quilting techniques that you can use on this.
So that's the front done, isn't it?
Well, I haven't put the one on at the bottom,
Yeah.
but But I mean, you can see it goes together really nice and quickly, yeah. So you can do stitch in the ditch around these edge parts where you're following your lines. You can do contour quilting, i.e. you're following your motif. So you might want to do it round your 7 and use this part, or round your lettering, and that's called contour quilting. And then, I mean, you could go really traditional. You could mark out a grid and do grid quilting on it.
Yeah.
It would look really nice.
What marking tool would you use for that to mark it out?
Well, there's ever so many. Because this is a nice light fabric, I would probably use just some sort of like chalk type pencil that easily rubs off. My problem is, I always find, is if you've got a dark fabric, it's really difficult to find a good tool to show up. Occasionally, I quite like fabric pencils and fabric erasers. They show up as well. They show up nicely. Things like the air erasable are great, except they can fade really fast.
Yeah, you've got to be able to quilt it straight
fast
away.
enough.
Yeah.
You've got to like draw it and sew,
That's
draw it
it,
and sew really
absolutely.
quickly. So I think something that you can mark it up, and it's there for you. So you could grid quilt it, but I'm going to set up the machine and show you how to do a little bit of free motion. Because if you've not done free motion before, you can use some of these lovely flowers and leaves to give you a guideline.
Oh, nice.
Because often it's quite difficult to kind of go, oh, I'm just going to do a pattern. What am I going to do? And you know, there's nothing to follow. Just especially if you haven't tried it before. Whereas if you've got something to follow, it gets you into the rhythm of how it feels.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which is a good way of learning if you haven't done it.
Brilliant. Do you want to change your foot over then?
I
This
will.
point?
I'm just going to find this wadding as well.
We've got about 15 minutes.
Okie dokie. So you can see that your wadding.
Yeah, it comes in a different shape, which I'd be thinking, hang on a minute, what am I going to do here?
One way is it's basically it fits with a little bit left over. But if you take that little bit that's left over off, it fits on the bottom.
Right, do I need to sew it together, or how do I?
So you can use your spray adhesive.
Just your 505 spray.
That's what I did on this one. I just
Okay.
used my spray adhesive. You could stitch it. You use like a tacking crisscross stitch to hold it together. Or I believe there is something called batting tape
there
that
might
you
be
can
some on
put
the
it
website.
together with as well. So that's sort of three ways that you can do it.
Great. The 505 is in your graphics. Really, really popular indeed. It's just $7.99 and always going to be very popular, but grab that because that's perfect for this project. Now, just so you know, the red bundle that we're working with is this one. Please do speak to the customer service team if you want it. It's the item code there you can see on the screen. It's not on the website at the moment. It might be later on today. If you're watching on a replay, have a look. It's $17.99. It's a massive panel. That's only half. Remember, you're getting your strips as well for your borders. You're getting your main panel and you're also getting all of your letters. You get templates and you're also going to get your wadding. So everything's all included, just $17.99. Cream is the most popular. Cream is lovely. It's the one that you've seen behind us. Oh, I think I was holding the wrong one. I'm ever so sorry. I think this one's the red, isn't it? They're very similar. They're very, very similar. So the one that I was just holding is your cream. Sorry, no, it's my fault. It's just, if I show you them next to each other like this, then you can see the difference in colour. 1 second, let me get a bit more straight. It's just the strips and slightly on the florals, but they are very, very close. So you can see cream, which is this one. Cream is this one, red is that one. So just so you can see the difference, but the graphics are live for this one now. £17.99. VBXC47 is your item code number. Brilliant. So we're imagining we've sort of basted it all in place. We've cut it
all together. Now I've put a free machine foot on my machine and I've dropped the feed dogs.
Okay.
And we're going to hope I've remembered how to set it up from earlier.
Yeah, I mean, all machines are a bit different, aren't they? So have a bit of a look in your instruction manual. Is your presser foot down?
It is. Now it's because I need to get that.
Type in the number. So we're on mode 1, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then type in what stitch number with the keypad.
That's it.
You're on. So yeah, this is the 680 plus, by the way, which is actually really great to navigate through.
Oh, it's lovely, yes, when you know what you're doing with it.
Absolutely.
It's great.
So you don't need to do free motion, do you?
No,
You could do
not
lots
at
of
all.
different ways,
There's
but it's
lots
a
of
good
different
one to
ways.
practice with.
So the thing with free motion is you can go in absolutely any direction you like. Yeah, you haven't got to stop and turn round. Now, some people, I like to do it where I just kind of hang on to it. Some people like to put it in a hoop.
Okay.
Because it gives them the edge of the hoop to hold on to.
Oh, right.
Some machines, sometimes you can actually get plastic things that hold it in place as well, so it gives you a guide.
Would it be best to put your extension table on if you've got your extension table on?
Yeah, you can do, especially if you're working with a really big piece. So I'm going to just do a little bit on this rose so that you can see how you can use it to just kind of follow the lines. And don't worry about being really, really exact. It's okay if it's, you know, looks a bit sort of freehand. That's the point of it. So you can go backwards and forwards, and you can come back round.
So it is just about trying to get, I find it easier actually to be a bit quicker. I started off doing it really slow.
No, you
and
need speed.
I couldn't get the stitch length even. That was my biggest
speed. You need speed,
thing.
and you need to move it very evenly.
Okay.
So if you jerk it, you'll get some long stitches and some short stitches. So
right.
It's quite an even but slow sort of movement. You haven't, although the machine's going fast, you can be quite slow. And the main thing I find when people are learning this is remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath.
Good tip. Good tip for life.
And remember, you can stop. You can stop and take your foot off. You don't have to go for miles and miles, you know? So, yeah.
So have you planned your route here, or
No,
you're following the
I'm
roses?
just going free motion, free to see what happens. Obviously, if I was making this for someone special, I probably would plan it a little bit more and think what I'm going to do. But it's quite nice because especially I think if you were using like a darker red cotton, it would bring out the really nice drawing of your roses on it.
Yeah, oh absolutely. Depends how confident you are. If you are just starting out and you're thinking, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to use a white or complementing.
Absolutely. I used white on that one. You can see a little bit, I did a little bit of completely free motion around the 20. Yeah, did some little flowery motifs of my own on there. But you could, if you were feeling really clever, you could write the names of the people who you were giving it to, couldn't you?
That'd be
free
lovely.
motion. That would be nice.
That'd be really nice. So if you're, I was talking about waddings earlier on and saying that you needed to quilt with the other one up to, well, it was up to 10 inches apart. With the polyester, is there a minimum quilting that you need to do, or, you know, can you do quite little quilting with it?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Not sure. But I'm just wondering, let me see if it says on the
certain.
packet. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. So you can just do as much or as...
No, I mean this sort of wadding's just perfect for these kinds of projects, really.
Yeah.
And because it's quite nice and fluffy, you get a lovely bounciness to it, don't you?
I suppose because it's polyester, it's great that you can just chuck it in the wash.
So I've gone around a couple of leaves there as well. Just so,
that was
so
lovely.
it's not, you know, it's not following them exactly, but it kind of just gives them a bit more emphasis.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think. Right, we'll do a little bit round the 7, a bit of contour, just to give you an idea. But this is nice because you can really sort of play with it.
Absolutely.
Have a go. The only thing is if you do go wrong and you don't like it, it is an absolute devil to unpick. So if you've got an idea and you're not sure, maybe practice it first.
I've seen ones as well. I mean, you could make with freezer paper, or you know, you can make your own little template. So if you want to do, I've noticed, and I don't know whether you just did this by accident, but you've got flowers on there.
Yeah, no,
you?
I did them on purpose. Yeah.
So you could do that as you could make your own little templates and go around with freezer paper, can't you, and peel it off.
Yeah. So say you were doing a 20th and it's China, you could do little teacup designs,
Yeah,
couldn't
absolutely.
you?
Print off little templates.
So there's all sorts of things that you could do. And
your foot's not down. There you go.
that's the thing, you can never tell with a free motion foot, can you, if it's down or not?
No. I get scared when I hear that machine bleeping at us.
I have to say, it is quite hard doing free motion standing up. This is a new challenge.
Oh, right, okay.
I would recommend at home, sit down
Sit
to
down.
do it, yes. I can feel myself going a bit all over the place.
like about free motion though is that it's just like almost like drawing, isn't it, with your stitches?
It is like drawing. It's a really nice opportunity to be creative with your sewing machine, actually.
It feels a bit alien going backwards, doesn't it? Because obviously when you're sewing, everything's forward, but to then be able to then go backwards and side to side and everything, it's strange without sort of turning and pivoting. It is an alien feel to you, but it is very freeing.
It is, yeah. Yeah, sometimes it takes people a little while to get into it. I've got a bit of a pucker, but it's because my wadding's not properly attached, really. I've only pinned it together a little bit.
Would I need to change my stitch length to do this on my machine? I think this machine automatically
does it. This machine's automatically done it. If you're doing it at home, you need to make your stitch length as small as possible.
Right.
Smaller it is, the better results you'll get.
So I think this machine goes down to a 1 even,
it's down
doesn't it?
on a 1, yeah. We'll do a little flower. No, we won't. My bobbins run out. It uses up a lot.
So how do I tie off the ends?
So what I would do if you've got some little ends, of course this machine's lovely and it's cut them off for me on the back. But if you've got longish ends, I would just pull them through, and you can weave them in to your wadding. Actually, I always think you can see
the roses
better on the back. Sometimes you're quilting, so you can see the shape.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, roses.
Done. So you can see actually following those guidelines works quite well, doesn't it?
I've got about 6 minutes with you.
Okie dokie. Well, as I've run out of bobbin, I'm not going to do
Is there any others?
quilting on
Is there
it.
one other in the little gubbins box potentially? No.
I can't see one offhand. What I was going to do is just talk you through finishing it off.
Okay.
So when I did this one, I just bagged it out. So I did that before I did the quilting. So when I say bagged it out, it was the outer panel and the wadding with it, and then the backing fabric on top.
So would you do that after you've done your quilting?
No, I would do that first if you're going to bag it out.
Okay.
So make sure your backing fabric is on top, covering this. So all the way round, leaving a small gap to turn it round. And then you can turn it through, give it a press and just top stitch it. So that's what I did on the example.
And then free motion it.
Then free motion it because it's all attached together. This one, because I've put it together this way, I'd need to bind it. So obviously I'd trim it all really neatly. You could do a single binding, you could do a double binding.
Yeah.
So just as you would edge a normal quilt, I quite like a double binding these days.
How thick do you need to cut your strips in for a double binding?
If I was going to do a double binding, I would cut 2 inch deep, because you fold it in half, so then that's making it 1 inch wide. The raw edges go along the raw edges of your panel, stitch along, and then that will fold over to the back, and you'll hand stitch it. I love that bit though at the end, the hand stitching at the end.
Yeah, I think it's nice,
really
especially when you haven't been spending hours and hours on patchwork. It's nice to just have a bit of. I know a lot of sewers who literally can't sit and watch the telly without doing some sort of projects and have a bit of a pile of hand sewing.
I always do my last bit of quilt hand sewing in front of the TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's lovely. It keeps you all snug and warm on your knee, and then when that's done, it just finishes it off so beautifully, doesn't it? It looks so smart. So. You can use any colour really, couldn't you, to bind it, but I'd probably pick up one of the ones that's in the panel. Yeah. Like a darker grey would look really nice, or one of your ones there would look lovely. The pink would look very nice, I think. So there's 2 ways of doing it, depending how much work you want to do. The bagging out is probably slightly quicker.
Okay.
I also, you see I did a little bit of just top stitching around the border there as well on that one, just to hold it all in place. So it's really up to you. There's like absolutely loads you can do with it.
That's what's great. I mean, even if you generally don't do too much to it, the quilt itself is beautiful. The panel itself is really beautiful. But if you do then want to embellish, personalise, put people's names on it, put, like we said, little sparkles, the jewels, different quilting, more top stitching, the possibilities are kind of endless.
Whatever your level of sewing, you can make something really lovely with it, and you can go to town on it. And I mean, I think it's a great way of trying something new, if you think, oh, well, I've always wanted to have a go at free motion, but I've always been a bit worried, it looks really scary. This is a really not scary way of having a go, I think. Definitely.
Brilliant. Oh, thank you ever so much. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything on how to put it all together, hopefully.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's one of those that's great for a beginner or for somebody who wants something quick. We love a quick quilt. Even if you're an experienced sewer, sometimes you just need a quick present, don't you? So thank you ever so much. You're back with the Tula Pink jelly roll. Yes. Nice. We'll see you in an hour. Thank you, Katharine. Okay, so let's have a quick recap of these kits because they are extremely popular. I'm going to get it the right way around this time. Let's do the cream. So the cream colourway is the one that Katharine made up before the show. I'm going to open up all the panels so you can have a good old look at the beautiful, beautiful detail. Now we've got the graphics as well. It's exciting to see. It all comes together, doesn't it, in the end? Here we've got your cream colour panel, which is beautiful. I mean, this isn't, it doesn't really show up as well on screen, but this isn't just white. This has got a ditzy spot print as well, which is just lovely attention to detail, really lovely attention to detail. You've then got this lilac border and really beautiful detail in all of your flower prints, all of your floral print going round. Plus then you've got the space obviously in the centre there to be able to put whatever number you want. I said right at the start, when you're looking for special anniversaries, yeah, you might be able to find gifts out there that have got 60th anniversary or 50th or 20th anniversary. But what about if it's somebody's 8th year anniversary or 7th? You don't find gifts like that for people, do you? Which is lovely. And it's nice to celebrate when you can. This is absolutely lovely. Every year is important. I think at the moment I am absolutely going to take advantage after, you know, once we can, I will celebrate every occasion possible just because I can. Oh, Paul's like, yeah, I am definitely going to be celebrating. We're all going to go for it with our parties, aren't we? I love the font as well that's been used for that happy wedding anniversary. It's so pretty. It's really just elegant. It's like calligraphy, isn't it? It is really nice. So that's the cream option. It also comes, let's have a look at the other part of it. It comes obviously with your borders. So you've got all of your grey and rose strips, plus you're then also getting, oh, in fact, what's this one for? So I've got, this is your numbers fabric. Ah, it says numbers fabric. So if you're wanting to do maybe a loop for your hanging or whether you're doing any numbers, then this is going to be lovely. And then at the bottom, yours, it's going to actually be adapted as well because it will also have a st, an ST. So if it's 21st, then that will be there as well. But we've got the RD, ND and TH option also. And again, in that lovely calligraphy kind of font. It doesn't just come with your panel though. Remember, you also then get your wadding included. You've got your premium polyester craft wadding included. Plus, you're also getting all of your templates, which are again in that lovely, like calligraphy-esque templates. Now for telly, I've done it this way. We have printed it this way round, just so it looks better on telly, that it's not getting confusing people when they're backwards. Whereas actually yours, don't worry, will come reverse. So they'll look backwards when you get them, but remember when you Bonder web them, they'll flip over. So that's your kit, $17.99. It's fantastic. And these are good to have anyway, aren't they, for people's birthdays? You could make your own then, couldn't you? You could do your own. You could do your own what? Sorry, Strictly boards. 7. Well, it's Bake Off starting, isn't it? It's Bake Off starting. Yes. What about Strictly pillows? You can pick up your pillow in the living room when Strictly starts. That's starting soon, isn't it? It is starting. It's a good point. Good point. Please put, if you do use Hannah's, I feel like this is like that autumn thing. I think Hannah's going to be doing her own Strictly Come Dancing cushion kit, so you can do your own scores at home. Okay, she's doing it in the gallery like this, holding up. It will be one of her scheduled shows. You watch this space. She keeps telling me, so I think this is a brewing idea in her head that she's definitely going to put into action. Right, let's do the red, please, Paul, before Hannah gets too excited about her fantastic idea. This is VAXC69, and it this time comes with your red. It's like a crimsony red and silver spots. Plus then, remember, you're also getting your TH, ND, RD and TS. No, ST, sorry. £17.99 plus your wadding and your templates. Great price, isn't it, for a quilt? Brilliant value for money. That's just £17.99. Have a real good look. That is exclusive to us. This one, over the next few minutes, speak to the customer service team. Please speak to the customer service team. You will need to contact them to be able to secure any of these kits. Well, this kit. The other one is on the website, VAXC69. Or just say to the customer service team that you want the red anniversary kit. There are some backing options on the website. We had Calico is about to sell out. You will need a metre for the back of your wall hanging or on the back of your quilt. So, in fact, the fabrics from the first out would look really, really nice with it as well. We've got the crimson, we've got the blush, we've got elephant, and we've got the calico. So check out your baskets on the website if you do want any of those, especially also for your binding as well. Now, in the next hour, we're going to be talking about workroom tools. We've got some that are back in stock. We've got some of your faves, some of Hannah's picks coming up as well. So don't go anywhere. Check out your baskets or speak to the team about the red colour option. And we're back with you in just a few minutes. If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
Hello everyone, I'm Delphine Brooks. It's so great to be here and part of the Sewing Street family. I'm local, I'm only down the road in Warwickshire. I started sewing many years ago when I was very young, doing lots of art and painting, and eventually I went into textiles and I really enjoyed doing the two together. I then had a bit of a break. Something you don't know about me maybe is that I spent many years in the Royal Air Force and eventually in the police as well. And then I went full circle and I've come back to my happy place of sewing, and which I really enjoy. My best sewing tip is measure twice and cut once. I have chipped up a couple of times by not measuring properly, and I do always regret it. So now I always measure twice, cut once. Anyway, I really hope to be with you again soon, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rosie Wells.
My name's Poppy and I'm a nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Ruth Lynette and I can't wait to join you all on the brand new Gemporia Lifestyle channel.
If you're a fan of primal living, you're going to adore what's around the corner.
What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is healthy habits.
Feeling good, it's about looking great,
Making sure that we're taking good care of ourselves inside.
and it's about the life that you lead and the home that you live in.
All of this is why I'm so excited.
We've got the most wonderful team.
Homeware deals and primal deals under one roof on one channel.
I can't wait to share this brand new channel with you. So we'll see you soon on Gemporia Lifestyle.
Gemporia Lifestyle, coming soon to Freeview Channel 74 and gemporia.com.
Did you know that if you shop with Sewing Street, you're only going to pay one lot of postage all day? That's one payment of £3.95, no matter what you're buying. And you can check out as many times as you like without having to pay another delivery charge. So shop online at www.sewingstreet.com, or you can order via our call centre, which is 0800 001 4433.
Hello everyone, my name's Cara Ackerman and I'm absolutely delighted to be here at Sewing Street. I actually originated from Hertfordshire, then went down to Hampshire, and then it ended up in the East Midlands. I've been in the East Midlands for about 40 years now, which seems crazy, but 36 of those I actually worked with DMC Creative World, which was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed that. And then I decided to go freelance, and that's how I got introduced to Sewing Street. I love doing anything to do with textiles, so embroidery, cross stitch, patchwork, done a bit of quilting, bag making, toy making, oh goodness, there's loads and loads of things. What I love doing is just trying something new, and I think one of the tips is don't be frightened of trying something new. You always learn from it, and you know, don't be scared of making mistakes either. We all learn from the mistakes that we make. Little bit about me that you might not know, and that's a bit of a surprise. I once went to the garden party down at Buckingham Palace, the Queen's garden party, for some work that I did with Marie Curie. I was so lucky to go there, and just a wonderful time. So I hope to see more of you on Sewing Street, and I hope to try lots of new crafts with you. So see you again soon. Bye bye.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Welcome back. How are you all on this Monday morning? Start of a brand new week, and I know with all this uncertainty that's been going on, especially more so as it's getting a bit more autumny, we all need something to cheer us up. So we've got some brilliant deals today. We've got a beautiful, bright, cheery quilt coming up in the last hour with Katharine, Tulip Pink, one of our favourites. And we've got savings galore. So starting with a saving that I know everybody appreciates this sort of time of year with our early bird special. It is so simple, beautiful wadding, which is super duper soft. It's 80-20. 80% cotton and 20% polyester with a £5 saving. It's queen size, but like we were saying with Katharine, oh, this is just so nice. You know what? I just want to go and just wrap myself up in it. It's so beautifully soft, and even if you're not thinking of doing huge queen size quilts, this is going to be absolutely ideal for smaller projects as well. Making it as doing the early bird special on it makes it obviously really accessible for everybody. So I hope everybody who hasn't had a chance of working with the So Simple range enjoys having a play with this, because it is such super duper quality. It's massive. I mean, it's 90 by 108 inches. So it's absolutely huge for less than £40. I understand waddings can be expensive, especially when you're looking at the natural fibres. So whether you're looking at, I mean, wool ones can be really expensive. This is your cotton polyester wadding for £39.99 with a £5 saving today. Well done to everybody who's already got it today. It's only 1p&p all day long today. So if you are purchasing something, have a look on the web shop as well, because it isn't just on the show that you can take advantage of the 1p&p option. So that is today's early bird. I just thought I'd let you know, as we've got some other waddings coming up. Also, I mean, it's personal preference depending on what you're using it for. So stay tuned, and we'll have a talk about different waddings. It's lovely and soft though. This is just so beautiful. You love it, and you only need to do quite minimal quilting with it. It says stitch up to 10 inches apart, which is really good, isn't it? Okay, fantastic early bird today. Right, I will talk about some other waddings in a bit, so stay tuned for those. We'll talk about different options. But if you do want to have your say, if you want to come and say hello to us, please do. Remember, this is a live interactive show. You can email the studio directly, studio@sewingstreet.com, studio@sewingstreet.com. So if you've got any questions, please just come and say hello. It's Monday morning. I'm here all week. I'm here till Thursday, so it's really nice to have your company, and yeah, it's really lovely to have your interaction. So come and say hello to us. Now, let's start with some Fiskars products. When we're talking about reputable brands in the industry, it doesn't get any more reputable than Fiskars. They have been making tools and cutting products since, I think, 1649, 1680 or something. I mean, years and years and years and years and years, hundreds of years. So very often that any company, in fact, makes that sort of last that test of time, which is brilliant, and it's a testament to the quality of the products. You probably recognise them for scissors and different tools. This looks quite a unique contraption, doesn't it? And I will explain to you exactly why this is really, really useful. So, it is a rotary cutter. It's a 45mm rotary cutter, which it is the sort of standard size blade. Can get bigger, yes. Can get smaller, yes, and they both have their needs for different projects. But generally, if you're doing lots of cutting, we'll always suggest your 45mm blade. Now, most rotary cutters you use and they look like that. You can manipulate this and turn it around to whatever you are most comfortable with, and depending on what you're cutting as well, you might need a bit more strength to cut through. So what I love about this is it's got a really lovely soft grit handle. As always with rotary blades, you've got to be very, very careful because they're extremely sharp, so they've thought a lot about the safety. This is your lever here, and you can only open it whilst it is locked into place. So always remember at the end of each cut to lock that off. But if I'm halfway between midpoint, that is not going to let me engage the blade, which is really, really good, isn't it? So whilst it's moving around, it will not let me engage that blade. It's only when it clicks into place that you can use that safety feature, pull it back and expose that 45mm blade for your cutting. The other ways of using this, the reason it's called a pivoting rotary cutter is because the second position is this. So you can have it facing this way. Now, as I say, it looks quite a sort of strange contraption, but if you imagine when you're using it the other way around, if you're going through lots of layers, you do need to sometimes put quite a lot of effort into to the rotary cutting, which a lot of pressure, that's the word I'm looking for, which I sometimes find quite difficult. And I must say, therefore, I generally tend to cut 2 to 3 layers max. It's what I'm comfortable with. Whereas with this rotary cutter, I can cut through many more layers because the pressure is coming from my body weight and not from my wrist. It's coming from my whole body weight, and you can apply much more pressure. So if you are going through lots more layers, then this is going to be an ideal position. It also has a third and fourth position, so you can do it at a 45-degree angle, which if you're cutting curves freehand, doing that with a rotary blade is really, really difficult. Whereas with this, just with a slight curve, without having to change my body position or worry about where I'm going, you get a really lovely smooth curve. And same the other way. If I do it this way, it will curve naturally to the right. So, I mean, I love that I love that they've thought of so many different things with Fiskars. Of course, you can still cut straight, depending on what you find comfortable. Have a bit of a play around with the different positions and see what you find most effective. It's £21.99, which I think is a fantastic price, bearing in mind you do get a blade, a 45mm blade included, and you can use this in conjunction with my new favourite blade changing tool. Love the blade changing tool. So as I say, you can use it with this. This simply spins and pulls out, and you can use it with the tool. I will show you how you use that as well with the guillotine. Well, I say the guillotine, it's your ruler and rotary blade combo. Let's have a look at the blade changing tool though, because I think the value for money on this is absolutely fantastic. If you have a look online at how much it costs to replace your Fiskars rotary blades, don't get me wrong, with these you can just use any of your standard 45mm blades, but when you're talking about Fiskars quality, you know that you've got beautiful quality rotary blades. Even when you think they are blunt, they are extremely, extremely sharp still. So please, please be careful. It really scares me if ever I see anybody trying to change a blade and they're touching the blade. It just is a big no-no for me. So when I've seen this, I must be honest, I've always talked about it and looked at it, but it wasn't until last week that I thought, Joe, I'm going to just have a go at changing my blade in my rotary cutter, and did it and realised how easy it is. Now you can use this with any of your 45mm blades from Fiskars. So whether it be the pivoting, whether it be the standard, whether it be the ruler and rotary blade combo, you can use it with them all. Price though, $29.99, I understand you think is a lot for a tool, but for one that you can change absolutely safely and efficiently, but also you get 5 blades in there. 5 quality blades, which is fantastic. So let me just grab the rotary blade combo, which we will talk through in a moment. But can you see, you have got a little screw on the front of here, and this has got exactly the same blade in as before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. This completely comes apart. There's a diagram that's on the pack. Fiskars also have got a great online presence. Now this is magnetic, so I'm not going to need to get my fingers anywhere near that, which is brilliant. Now I take my tool, and on the reverse of it, it even says very, very clearly, old blades. So here you've got a little indentation. You might not be able to see really clearly on camera, but can you see it says there, old blade. So I know that that's where this is going to need to go. So if I place that on here, it's also magnetic. So that will, she says, stay in there. I just need to engage it. There you go. So that has got a little magnet on. There's a magnet also there. Then that is now safe. So it's a safe place to store any used old blades. Now if I turn it over, this little lever here has also got a magnet on. So I'm going to slide that. It's already caught my other rotary blade that's in there. Slide that up and it will drop into that section. Now I move this out of the way. I get my my little orange slider ready to go. Did you hear it click in? That then clicks onto, let me just check. Yeah, there we go. It's clicked onto my little circular thing again, not touching it at all. Go back to my rotary blade. How quick and easy is this? That then slots on. I'm doing it backwards, but that slots on nice and easily. Screw it back in, and you have safely changed your blade. You've just got to be ever so careful, obviously, with your fingers. Please, please, please be careful. For $29.99, and there you go. It's now ready to cut, nice and sharp, ready to go through any of your lovely designer prints. So there we go. Sorry, I just did it on an angle. Perfect. Ready to go. And your old blades are stored. I've got 5 blades in here ready to go. Really quick and easy to do without having to touch it. So that's your Fiskars blade change tool. And that's with any of your 45mm blades from Fiskars that you can use it with. Brilliant, isn't it? That magnet technology is fantastic, and it does make it so much safer. £29, fantastic. So the tool that we were talking about is this one. Now I've only got a small mat here, so I'm not going to do any cutting with it, but I can talk you through exactly what we need, because you do need a large cutting mat. Oh, in fact, let me move it out of the way. I've got my large cutting mat here. Thank you, Hannah. So you do want to make sure that you've got a mat that is large enough for you. I definitely don't want to cut into our tulip pink quilt. You've got plenty of markings on here to be able to cut really accurately. And when you are looking at Fiskars, of course, you know that you're going to get that precision and accuracy. Now, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you can use it, of course. Just depends on which way you flip it round. There's plenty of markings both way rounds. Plus, again, you're getting 60 degree, 60 degree, 45, 45, 30 degree, 30 degree, depending on whether you want to cut from your left or your right hand. Have I got any fabric here to line up to show you? Let's have a look what's under here. Oh, I hadn't thought of this. I've got some white. I hope, actually, this is Katharine's. This is a tulip pink. I thought this bag looks like fabric that's coming up in the next hour, so I don't want to cut all of her demo stuff up. It's got the 45mm completely concealed blade. So those of you that are a bit worried about using a rotary blade, or if you struggle to grip a rotary cutter, this is going to be brilliant because all you need to do is apply a little bit of pressure, not much pressure, just apply a bit of pressure onto that handle, which is a lovely soft grip handle, and it will engage the blade. So it's now completely safe. It's not going to do any cutting until you apply pressure. So if you want to cut this, let me work it out, because you know me with my cutting my left or my right hand. I'm just going to trim a little bit off this. Let's have a look. If you want to cut a 2-inch strip, obviously you'd be a bit more accurate than me. You'd have given it a nice press. You line it up all nice and evenly. You can then line it up with your 2-inch line. It's all very clear all the way through. Let's keep going like this. So it's got a stopper at the end. You're not going to be able to cut towards yourself. You can, but it has that little stopper at the end. Press down. I've done this the wrong way around, haven't I? Because you can hold your hand, obviously, this side, cut, measure, and there you've got lovely clean cuts every single time. It's great when you're thinking, actually, do you know what? How much does it cost me for a really great quality rotary cutter? And how much does it cost me for a really reliable ruler, a very accurate and precise quilting ruler? You've got 2-in-1 here for $64.99, and I know a lot of people who are a bit unsure about using a rotary cutter, whereas this is a really great chance to not only cut strips, but obviously then you can put them onto the angles and cut triangles. Or if you're doing lots and lots and lots of cutting, we started off years ago when our warehouse team was starting with scissors, and then went to rotary cutters, then we're cutting with these, because it is such a great convenient way of cutting without getting, if you are cutting a lot with your rotary cutter, you find sometimes that you can get your muscles quite sore in your fingers, whereas this is just so quick and easy for doing lots and lots and lots of cutting. So that's again from Fiskars, beautiful quality, and it's $64.99. They're all extremely popular, and as I said, goes particularly well with the blade changing tool. Okay. Now, just shall we stay with Fiskars and say about different rotary cutters? So if you want a pinking blade for on any of your 45mm Fiskars rotary cutters, this is fab. See, I never even think of this. You think of pinking shears, don't you? Whereas how quick and even is it? Sometimes when you start to cut with your pinking shears and then you go for the next snip, you lose that perfect pinked edge. Whereas this, as a decorative aspect, as well as stopping any of your fabrics from fraying, this is brilliant. So it again goes with any of your 45mm rotary blades, and it gives you that sort of pinked edge. So for finishing any of your seams with dressmakers, quite a lot of people I know just use their pinking shears or their pinking blades. If you're doing bunting and you want a nice little decorative edge, or any fabrics that you want a lovely decorative edge, this is going to be brilliant. If you're using it, if you're doing lots of pre-cuts and you find with your cotton fabric that it tends to fray a lot, any charm packs that you buy, you'll probably see they've all got the pinked edge there ready to go. And it's a consistent pinked edge. If you're doing lots of pinking quite quickly, you can change your blade nice and easily, and it's just £6.99. This one I don't know whether you would be able to use with your blade changing tool. I don't see why not, actually. Maybe you would. Do you think you'd be able to use this with the blade changing tool? No, because, well, it's only because what I'm saying is if you were to use it with this, you've only got the straight ones in there. And I don't know where it sits, whether it will fit into the slot, because as you imagine, it's ridged on the sides. So, I mean, this is one that maybe you're going to use it with a dedicated rotary cutter, or you're going to swap it in and out. The pinking blades are really good for leather as well. Because leather doesn't fray, you can make tassels and things like that around the edges as a decorative edge on luggage labels or nice little purses. Doesn't need to be, you know, to stop it from fraying. It can be as a decorative edge on leather. It would look absolutely beautiful, or your PUs. Perfect. Or felt. Any of your felts? We're thinking of Christmas. We're thinking of felt or autumn projects with the lovely leaves and using lots of felts. This is going to be popular. This would be perfect. Sorry, I'm listening to Hannah. You're doing some wobbly snow. What do you mean? Like when you get wobbly when you're walking on snow. The snow looks a bit wobbly, so Hannah wants to do a wobbly snow scene with her pinking blade. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Let's put that in Hannah's ideas pots. So your next show that Hannah schedules, you know that we're going to have Strictly Cushions with 7, and then we're also going to have some wobbly snow scenes. Fabulous. I think wobbly leather snow scene potentially. Sounds good. Hi, Wendy. Oh, in Lowestoft. Hello in sunny Lowestoft. Nice. Oh, cutting out some Christmas stockings. Size A1 and size A2. They're big stockings, aren't they? Oh, nice. Loving the show. Welcome back, Hannah. She's had a really lovely trip. So much so that she's only coming back for 2 days. Then she's off for another week. Where are you going next week? Or this weekend? Chill at home, just having a bit of a rest. And to be honest, I know that we all have. Hannah has been working particularly hard all through the last sort of 6 months. She's been here every day at the start of when we first launched Sewing Street. So it's amazing to have a bit of a rest, to be able to have a bit of a rest. She needs a little break. But no, she's with me for the next 2 days. So keep us company. That's your pinking blade from Fiskars. Where should we move to now? Absolutely, I've just been talking about the extra large cutting mat. It was one of the first sort of, let me spin it round 1 second. When, oh, yeah, sorry. This one is available on the website. If you do want the larger one, speak to the team or have a look on the web. I'm just going to flatten this down because I don't want it to sit at a funny angle. If you want a smaller one, for smaller projects, there's a large selection on the web, and I always would say, look, go for the biggest cutting mat that your space will allow. But if you're on the move, or if you're thinking for different projects, smaller projects, you don't always need to get your big rotary cutter out. Maybe if you're just working on 5-inch squares on charm packs, or doing little half square triangles, and just doing lots of cutting where you need to beat your sewing machine, you need your ironing board set up, so you're setting yourself up a little station. This is perfect. And it is the most affordable cutting mat we have in stock. It is the most affordable. Price on this is brilliant. Have a look on the web and see what other cutting mats are available. What do you mean? Have we not got it? We haven't got it. We haven't got it. It's on the web, but we haven't got any graphics. We haven't got any graphics. Han's still in Blackpool, I think. She's on holidays. Seam guide is back in stock. So let me show you. I am going to imagine, let me see if what we've got here. I'm just going to take some of Katharine's white. I won't cut it, I'll just fold it. So imagine you've got, that looks like about an 8-inch square. You've got your seam guides. Do you want to do the big one first? There you go. Imagine that this is a block ready to go and you want to do triangles. So because you've got the little points at the end, these are from Creative Grids. They're our latest little gadget from Creative Grids. They're absolutely brilliant. Really useful indeed, especially for anybody who is starting out and who's trying to get their eye in on that 1/4 inch. I still really struggle to do it by eye. I know our guest designers just say, oh, I'll just sort of get my eye in, but there are lots of different ways of marking it and being able to do it easily. It's probably the worst fabric, isn't it, do you think, for me to show you? If I use it with a friction pen, I can iron it off before Katharine comes back. So, I mean, I haven't done a very good square. I'm going to try and do this properly now then. So, I might need to grab one from behind me. I've got one here. So, in our lovely new studio, everything is very accessible. It's got the non-slip grip. So it's got this section which is all frosted. If I put it there, then you might be able to see it a bit clearer. But this is all frosted, so it is going to stay exactly where you want it. And if I draw down the centre line, I'm thinking, you know, quite often when you're doing half square triangles, you've got the 2 arrows either side, so that will sit nicely into the corner of your square. Please bear with me because, I mean, I've just folded this. But you've got the gap in the centre, which you can draw with a friction pen that's going to work. 1 second, let me just get the ink flowing. Do you know what, my friction pen isn't going to go through there. but it's not going to fit through. Do you know what I mean? I think I need a thinner marking tool. I need a finer marking tool. I can do my, how can I do this? I'm trying to think the best way of doing it. So anyway, what I would do, maybe with a pencil you could do it. What I would do is I'd mark down between here, and then I would also mark either side of it. And then you've got your sew line, which is either side if you're doing your half square triangles, and then your cutting line through the centre. Really, really easy and accessible. Also, if you're doing English paper piecing, Kat came up with this. She says, right, imagine this is my hexie, and you want to mark your 1/4 inch round the edge. The line from the centre to the outside is 1/4 inch. If you just want a quick reference point to know that you're there, if you want to mark any of your seam allowances, this is perfect. So you can mark round your hexie at every point, 1/4 inch round, and then you've got your seam allowance ready to fold. It's just a really lovely, quick and easy tool to be able to do that. You know the book that we love? If I go onto the back, this one that Hannah absolutely loves, this is made up of half square triangles. This one is going to be so useful, so useful. We love this book, this book. Let me show you the big picture of it. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is one I know Katharine loves as well. I think she's working on that quilt at the moment. It's gorgeous, look at it. We'll come back to this book, but this is made up of half square triangles. How amazing does that look? 'Tis time, but I tell you what, the tool is going to make it so much easier and really accurate as well, really, really accurate. So we always talk about that 1/4 inch seam and how important it is to keep, you know, it consistent and accurate. And that will really, 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 really help. Sorry, it's hard to show when I'm putting white underneath it, I think. But it's obviously transparent. Hi, Geraldine. Lovely to have you with us. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Geraldine. She says, you're looking great. Oh, thank you. I haven't seen you for ages, Geraldine. Lovely to have you. Right, Geraldine, how many creative grids do you now have? These ones, I don't know whether you've seen these yet, Geraldine, because these are relatively new. Now, Geraldine, for anybody who may have not heard us talking about it before, is a bit of a seasoned pro when it comes to creative grids. I know that you're a huge advocate of them and have collected you know, in the tens of lots of different creative grids. These are brilliant though. They are fantastic for marking your 1/4 inch, to get your eye in and to be able to go across squares as well. That's up to a 15-inch block. Now this one, the smaller, if you know that you're going to use a lot of smaller, this is ideal. This is the one that was very, very popular. This one is the one that sold very, very well when we first launched. It sold out in the launch. In fact, I think both of them sold out in the launch. They were both extremely popular. Once again, it's got that non-slip grip. It's got the point on either end. So if you're doing an 8-inch square, then this is going to be perfect for that. It's got a hole through the centre. So if you were to mark through the centre point and then mark either side, that is a perfect 1/4 inch from this to here and from there to there. So if you are doing some of your, you know, if you are even just doing 1/4 inch seam and you want to mark it out, I still really struggle sometimes to get my eye in and know, am I absolutely precise and accurate when you're doing lots and lots of piecing? Am I consistent? Some machines can be slightly different or settings can be slightly different, whereas this is going to really, really help you with your accuracy. It's from Creative Grid, so you know that you've got great accuracy from Creative Grids always. £14.99, but and I understand, look, it's a smaller ruler, it's a bit of a novelty or a gadget, but actually extremely useful. And Creative Grid, as we all know, have got a great online presence. They're always there, giving us lots of different tips and different ways of using it. I thought for half square triangles, perfect for that, because I always struggle with knowing, hang on, which one am I cutting on, which one am I sewing on, which side, 1/4 inch each side. But Kat then said, I've been using this for my English paper piecing. The smaller one's going to be probably best for EPP, isn't it? For £14.99, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. For FPP as well, marking your, to prepare your seam for FPP, you need that 1/4 inch, don't you, to then trim away. They're going to be handy for that. So that's £14.99. They're back into stock. Hannah's not seen them for ages, so it's great to have them back in. We've also got, yes, some of the other Creative Grid rulers. There are lots of different sizes available. We'll talk about a few that have been extremely popular and have repeatedly sold out. This is one of them. We have the larger ruler, don't worry, but this is your 12.5 by 6.5. It's $14.99. I think it's a brilliant place to sort of start if you are thinking of expanding your quilting ruler collection. I can't recommend Creative Grids enough. I mentioned earlier on with the seam guides that they have the non-slip grip technology, and it is really like technology, because normally with quilting rulers sometimes you can buy little stickers that you put on the bottom to make them not slide across your fabric when you're cutting, whereas this is a built-in non-slip grip. These frosted sections all the way across and round the perimeter are all non-slip grips. They're built in, they're not going to scratch off, they're not going to damage your fabric. You can still glide across your fabric absolutely fine. Let me show you. So you're still going to be able to glide over the fabric. It's not going to stick, it's not going to sort of get all jolty, but as soon as you apply your pressure, that's when it's then safe to cut. It's not going to be wiggling all over the place, but if you do apply that pressure, your non-slip grips will come into play. What I love about Creative Grids, and Geraldine, I'm sure that you'd be happy to tell everybody as well, is that they're designed by quilters, and you can tell that. They're designed by quilters. They're not somebody who doesn't really do much sewing, who's created something. These are designed by quilters for quilters, so they've thought of everything. 1, the safety, 2, the precision, 3, all of those different key angles and key points that we need, the key measurements we need as quilters. They've come up with the turnaround feature. So as a quilter, you have to be pretty good at maths. Now, I'm no accountant. I'm not very good at it. I know that John Cole Morgan is amazing. He's an accountant. So therefore, when he's doing all of his quilts, fantastic. Whereas this cuts out the maths, I've found. It makes it really easy and really accessible to find the right cuts that you want. So here, I've got my full inch increments. There's also a perfect 1/4 inch frosted part at the bottom to just get my eye in again, but these are my full inch increments in white and going up the right hand side. If I spin this round, I have then got my 1/2 inch increments there ready to go. So I've got 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5 obviously on the end, and the same again going up, and these are continued across the ruler. So if you want to make sure that you're nice and straight, you've got plenty of lines and different angles to match up. The great thing about Creative Grids is that they're called Creative Grids for a reason. You can get extremely creative and do lots of your cutting with these. It doesn't just stop at straight lines. Remember, you can of course cut strips into triangles and diamonds and hexes. You can do lots of different things, especially with the key angles that are there. 45-degree angle, 60-degree angle, 30-degree angle, all great markings as quilters. Also, it's quite a thick acrylic, so this is to be used in conjunction with your rotary cutter, but I always obviously don't use this without a cutting mat. You do need a cutting mat. So this is your 6.5 by 12.5. They've been selling really, really well on the website. It's definitely worth checking out and having a look if you can grab one of those. The most popular ruler that we stock, and one that I would absolutely recommend for somebody who said to me, this one, isn't it? Somebody who said to me, right, I'm going to buy one ruler and I want to do a lot of my cutting with that one ruler. Which one would I recommend? I would say either Stripology or this one. You can also get the slightly narrower one. You can get the 6.5. This is great because it's 8.5 by 24.5. And what I love about this is you can cut the selvage off your fabric without moving it, without shimmying it. You're going to be able to cut your full yardage. You're going to be able to cut full from 1/2 meter without moving your fabric. So again, the turnaround feature is on this ruler also. So you've got your full inch in white. If I spin it round, I've then very quickly and conveniently got all of my 1/2 inch increments. If I am cutting bigger blocks, if I want to do full strips, if I'm cutting my own design rolls and jelly rolls, then this is going to be really, really accurate. You've got the markings every 1/4 inch and then every 1/8 of an inch, I think that is, across your grids. So throughout, you have got plenty of markings to be able to show up on lighter fabric and on darker fabric. Sometimes I can find it quite difficult when we start talking about, especially if you're just moving into quilting, maybe you're a dressmaker, or if you only sort of learned centimetres and inches, and now you're moving into, sorry, if you only knew centimetres and millimetres, and now you're moving into inches, you need all the help you can get. And this is the great thing about Creative Grids, is they really, really do help you. They all come with a little QR reader, which is this little square here. We've all got quite familiar with these recently. I didn't know until about a month ago that you only need to hover your camera over the top of it. You don't need to download any apps or... I'm getting more used to using a QR reader, because now if you go to a restaurant or you go anywhere, majority of the places, their menus are on QR readers. So you just open your smartphone onto the camera, hold it there, and it will come up straight away with a bit of a link. And that will take you straight to the videos from Creative Grids, and they give you lots of different ways of using it and talk you through all of the markings. So this one's £31.99. It's actually designed by Rachel Cross, who is... I know that she watches the show, and we've got a great relationship with Creative Grids. We hang ours all up on the set. They come with a little hole at the top that you can hang them, store them flat. Store them flat. Hi, Geraldine. She's messaged in. She says, yeah. Hi, Victoria. Lost count. I've lost count of how many rulers I've collected over the last 3.5 years. Over 35 now? Woo! She says, they are fabulous. They are fabulous. Oh, there you go. She said, oh, she said all the emojis to me. Thank you so much. Red heart, huggy, blue heart, red heart, B. Oh, and a B on the end. Like sewing B. There we go. Nice. Thank you very much, Geraldine. Thank you for your messages. Lovely to hear from you. Send in all of your messages. Come and say hello to us today. Now, let's bring out the big guns. Absolutely. When we start to talk about, when I said what rulers I would recommend, I did say, oh, would I go for Stripology? Would I go for one of these? The first ruler that I bought was the 24.5 inch. I would not be without my Stripology ruler now. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, this is the sort of latest edition of the Stripology ruler. They combine two of their most popular rulers into one. So it's the Stripology original is now discontinued, and they've put together the original Stripology ruler, the square Stripology ruler, and come up with this, which is your XL Stripology ruler. It isn't actually much bigger in size, but it's got so many more key features which are going to make our cutting experience so much quicker and so much more enjoyable. I must admit, I hate to say this, but don't enjoy cutting. Never have, and I just don't enjoy it. I love the sewing. I hate the cutting part. I find it really time consuming. I've always get confused. I read a pattern that tells me I need 100 of those and 200 of these and 350, and I'm already like, oh my word, this is going to take me forever, especially as I then start cutting. Before I had a Stripology, I am going to let you into a secret. Kieran, my husband, did all of my cutting for me. He loves being accurate. I don't. The great thing about this is it cuts out, I think it says on the front of the little leaflet that comes with it, and don't lose it because I've lost mine, so I speak from experience, don't lose it. Kat always recommends to laminate it. Don't know why, but yeah, she said laminate it. So if you've got your instructions, I think it says on the front, it reduces 75% of your cutting time. Yes, I'm in, I'm sold. I don't care how much it is, I'm in. 75% of my cutting time. How much more sewing am I going to be able to do? How much more, time with my family am I going to be able to spend, or doing different things? 75% of your time is a lot of time, isn't it, to be able to do other projects? So, why? How have they reduced so much time? This looks like a big ruler to you on screen, but actually you've got lots of slots at every ½ inch increment that you can get your rotary cutter into the little teardrop shape at the bottom. You can cut really accurately and completely straight. No wobbling, no adjusting, completely straight, and cut your whole ½ meter without having to shimmy your ruler. Now you can cut up to 20 inches, well actually 20 3/4 inches, or 21 inches actually, because if you want to do the end of your ruler, that's your 21 inch. So what I love about this is the new additions to the XL ruler is that you've got extra angles. So from the 45-degree angle and your 65-degree angle, you're going to be able to cut equilateral triangles, you're going to be able to cut 60-degree diamonds. The possibilities are endless. Yes, you can cut all of your strips into squares, squares into triangles, strips into diamonds, diamonds into hexes. You've seen me do this so many times, you can have a look online if you want. I know that we haven't got the time to do it today, but I mean, I could if you want, but what I love about this ruler, also, I want to get through all the others as well. So on the other side, to the left of the zero, sorry, I'm jumping here, there and everywhere, and Paul's like, hang on, I want to show it. So on the left of the zero, you've got a 1/4 inch dashed line. You've then got a 1/2 inch dashed line and a 3/4 inch dashed line. So you actually can cut up to 22 inches really, can't you? Which is great. So if you are looking for a more intricate size, if your pattern is calling for a 2 and 3/4 inch strip, you no longer have to work out, well, where do I need to put it? You can literally just butt it up against the 3/4 line and do your cuts accordingly. It's got the key as always, so if you're cutting 2.5 inch strips, you're cutting your own jelly rolls, you know to just go square, 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 really quickly, really easily, without moving your fabric, without moving your ruler, and very quickly you've cut your whole 1/2 metre really accurately. If I then spin it round, it still has that turnaround feature, and this is for squaring up our blocks. If you're squaring up any blocks from 4 inch, 4.5 inch there, all of your 1/2 inch increments are in white, all of your full inch increments are in black. So anything from, in fact, 3 inch square there, 4 inch, up to, I've got a 12.5 inch square on here, so I can square up all those blocks really quickly and really conveniently. You can see the cross running through the squares to be able to line it up really accurately. But as I say, I know so many people who have got this who would not be without it. That dashed line continues all the way around the perimeter of the ruler as well. The difference between this and the square one is that it's bigger. So if I show you, you can cut up to 13 or 12.5 inches you can cut with the squared. So you can physically see that you've got more space on the XL. But I don't like to make that decision for you, if I'm honest, because it depends on what you're going to use it for more. Hannah's saying, is it better to have the more? I personally think, yeah, if you're going to buy one, now that they've invented the one with the mix, the squared and the stripology, then absolutely, if you can afford to do it, go for it. It is more expensive though. It is $61.99. If you're thinking, right, do you know what? I know I use I square up a lot of blocks, and that's what I'm going to use it. I don't mind doing my other cutting with my ordinary ruler. If you just want to be able to square out your blocks, obviously you can still cut your strips as we were talking before. It's still got exactly the same key. It's still got all of the same slots at every 1/2 inch increment. So it's still going to do the same for me in that respect. But this is solely sort of designed really to cut your strips up to 12.5 inch and to square up your blocks from 4.5 inch finished block to 12.5 inch finished block. And they will be so accurate and precise. I wouldn't necessarily, if I've got the XL ruler, I wouldn't think, oh, I'll need to get this one as well. I think it's one that, have a think, which one's going to suit you more, which one does your budget allow, but if you get this one, you're not then going to need to invest in the square stripology from my experience. So yeah, have a think about it. Once again, you have got, as I said, 1/2 inch increments going up, plus really clear markings whether you're working on lighter fabrics or darker fabrics. Still got that non-slip grip, still absolutely accurate, and it's £44.99. Now the mini's a bit different. Normally I would say, right, like I said with the square, I'm not going to tell you need to buy both. If you've already got the stripology XL, then I wouldn't necessarily need to reach quickly to purchase the squared because it's got that option on here. Mini's different because I know a lot of people who have got the Stripology XL and also have the Mini. The XL ruler is obviously a large ruler. It's quite cumbersome. If you're working with large half-metre pieces or metre pieces, then that is absolutely brilliant. Whereas if you're working with charm packs, fat quarters, any smaller pre-cuts, this is where I'd reach for my Mini. This is where you would reach for the Mini Stripology ruler. So, once again, every ½ inch increment, you have got your little slot to be able to insert your rotary cutter. Let me move these ones out the way. And then, even more detail on intricate sizing. The other side, once again, it's still, the slots haven't moved, obviously. You're still cutting every ½ inch. But if you can't get your head round different measurements or you're trying to work them out, done the hard work for you. Just by simply moving your fabric over to the left to that new 0 dotted line, you're now cutting ½ inch. So if you want to cut ½ inch, then you know you've got that there, 3/4, 1 1/4, 1 3/4, etc., etc. So you've got all of those cuts there ready to go. You still also can square up with this ruler, smaller blocks up to 6½ inch. I spoke to one of our guest designers who has got both the Stripology and this, and she said, I wasn't sure whether I'd need the Mini if I've got my main Stripology, but actually I use this one as much as I use my main one. As soon as I've done all of my main cutting, anything subcut, anything that I need to subcut, I will use my Mini Stripology for. It's just $36.99, so if you do want to test out the accuracy of creative grids, they are absolutely fantastic. Also, there's even more dashed lines on this one. You've got an 1/8 inch and 3/8 inch. So here at the side, you've got an 1/8 inch and 3/8 inch marking. So this is your chance to do some really, really great, intricate, more difficult measurements that I would find a bit too much to fathom in my head when I saw them on paper. Whereas with the Creative Grid rulers, it speeds it up and breaks down that maths for you. So that's the other option on Stripology. Have a serious think about them. Have a look on the website. As I say, they've got a great online presence. They're always updating. If you just type in Stripology, squared, mini ruler, there are so many different quilt designs that you can do with it. It isn't just simply for cutting your strips. There's loads you can do. It's really great fun as well. Really good fun. And I think that if a lot of people who potentially over the last 6 months have lost a bit of their sojo. Maybe you've been sewing a lot and you're thinking, right, I need to get my mojo back. Just trying a new ruler and trying something new, having a look online and seeing the community of Stripology lovers out there. I'm sure there's lots that you'll be able to find. We also have a little mini square. Oh no, that's on the website. It's on the website. The book that we mentioned. As soon as we put this out on the desk, Katharine said, I love this book. I'm working on it at the moment with my class. And it's actually really affordable for how many projects are in here. For $12.99, you can pay £10 surely for a pattern anyway. And you've got 14, less than £1 a project. And they are vibrant, modern, beautiful. It's a lovely book. I think Hannah first saw this on Instagram and she said, we need to get this in. We need to get it in. It is one that's very, very, very on trend. So it starts off with all your basics, using rainbow colours, using different scales of print, useful tools and things you might need, fabric requirements, how much to buy, that's a good point actually, isn't it? We always talk about, right, how much you might need in a pattern, but then how much does that equate to when you're buying ½ meterage? So that's really handy to have. All of your basics, things that you're going to need, things like rulers, mats, rotary cutters, maybe some best press, or maybe different feet, seam rippers, important one. Everything that you might need. Tutorials, different tips along the way for basting, different ways of doing it as well. It's not just one size fits all. It is going to be, right, find what works for you. Here's some great ways of doing it. Different ways of quilting, whether it be straight line, whether, like we saw earlier on, free motion quilting, whether it be long arm quilting, maybe you're sending one of these quilts off to be long arm quilt. You've also got a binding demo in here. Your half square triangles, flying geese units, diamonds in square. All of your half square triangles, get your seam guide out. Use your seam guides, your Creative Grid seam guides. The 15-inch seam guide is available. If you do want the larger seam guide, great price. Who's got Geraldine? Yay! Geraldine's got hers. She says, I've got the 15-inch, it's on its way. Amazing. So then this is chapter 3, which is all of your quilt projects. Your vintage star double quilt. It's lovely to be able to use different colours, isn't it? It is really nice to be able to use these nice rainbow colours. But I tell you what, I mean, yes, using rainbow colours looks great. How about using this with more of your traditional colours, or using it with different shades of blues? What about your autumnal shades? It doesn't necessarily need to be all in rainbow. Don't just look at this solely as rainbow quilts. These are using your 2.5-inch strips. What about this with your Tula Pink that we're going to be showing in the next hour? That'd look amazing. We all absolutely love this book. It's been one of the most popular books that we've launched since day dot back in February. Love, love, love. It's a great chance to experiment with some of your quilting. Lots of these have got a really lovely, just, you know, white background, cream background. What about changing it to a navy background or a black background, having that really nice dramatic impact? So this is the one that we were talking about. That Katharine's making with her class at the moment, and it's using half square triangles. I mean, lots of them, but I mean, what an amazing quilt. How big is it? 60-inch square. That's going to look absolutely awesome. Stash up on the website. There's loads of fabrics by the half metre. If you want to do rainbow options like this, we've got very, very similar colours. In fact, do you know what this would look nice with? Alison Glass. This would look really, really nice with the Sun Prince range from Alison Glass. That'd look gorgeous. And you can see the construction of it really, really clearly. It's simply just squares, half square triangle, square, half square triangle. Just the positioning of them is so clever. Trying out, also having a colouring page, photocopy this and have a few goes and seeing which ones you like, designing on a rainy afternoon. There's loads. I mean, we absolutely love this. This is one of my favourites with some of your batiks. Maybe your barley pops and your solids would look nice. Just one of the panels maybe. That's your favourite fabric, isn't it? No. Hang on. Is that your favourite fabric, Hannah? Which one is it that you loved? There was one that you always loved in here. I thought it was the fried egg one. Anyway, we can carry on. It is the fried egg one. £12.99 for your book. I've also got another quilting book. This is your Annie's quilting. I'll tell you what, the price on these are always brilliant. Price per project. I'm not going to work it out because, as I've already explained, I'm really bad at maths, but it's pence per project. So you've got 10 big impact quilts. Oh, I love this one because whenever I think of applique, I always almost think of using, you know, pattern fabric that I've fussy cut. Whereas actually with this, you get templates in the book. Let me try and find it so you can see. And using your solids, that's going to look lovely in autumnal. There it is. That's going to look beautiful in some of your autumnal colours. It's your raw edge fusible applique. We've got plenty of bondweb on the website at the moment. The rolls of 5 metres are in stock. So if you do want to have a go at any of the applique projects, maybe you've got a lovely fabric that you do want to focus on and almost frame in a block, that's going to be a great design. This one, again, lovely colours from the first hour. Our brand new mixes that we saw would look lovely in the medal ribbon quilt. Some more of the rainbows, that's monkey business. Great chance to have a bit of a practice of your quilting, your free motion like we were seeing with Katharine. Your whimsical medallion. See how amazing would that look in the new William Morris fat quarters that we've had. Nice. Any of your solids, any of your sort of more traditional colourways, but then really showing off some of your favourite prints in the centre. £8.99. Annie's Quilting always gives you great instructions as well. Really thorough instructions and some lovely templates along the way. I think you'll make a lot of quilts out of this book. It's not just one that you know, even if you're picking it up for one particular quilt, it's brilliant value for money. What was that? Sorry, Hannah. Fabrics, fabrics, fabrics. So earlier on, we, don't forget, coming up, subtle waft there. This is fabric that we launched a couple of days ago actually, but it's really, really pretty. sorry, I'm not sure what the code is. Oh, this one's ending in 27. Is that correct? So, this is Vintage Roses on purple. Oh no, we didn't launch this a few days ago. This is brand new. Oh my word, this is brand new in today, and look at the price. It's £4.99.5 metre. Ah, right, sorry. We had a collection that was out at 8 o'clock and I'm just skipping ahead of myself. But this one is brand new, never been to air before, and the print is so pretty. You've got all these lovely little ditzy roses, lovely pinks and greens, a delicate spot as well. £4.99.5 metre, vintage rose. So these are going to be lovely, yes, for quilting. You've got a smaller scale print, but also going to be really lovely. What about little gift bags, toiletry bags, makeup bags? What about with your 20th wedding anniversary wall hanging? Oh, I say 20th. That's the one that we've done behind. Your wedding anniversary quilt. This is going to be really, really pretty. It goes perfectly, doesn't it? Just doing nice small projects. Half a metre is going to go a long way. £4.99 as well. Bag makers, absolutely make the most of that. That is a brilliant price. We're going to whiz through a couple more of these. This one's ending in 49, please. This is your white with pink and rose. Gorgeous colours. In fact, let me light it down and you'll probably be able to see some of the detail a bit clearer. £4.99, brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new today. Nice with any of your white bedding that you might have in your bedroom, like little cushions with like frilly edges. I'm thinking of adding some lace trim would look nice. Can still use it for dressmaking. Just obviously be aware that it's a poplin weight cotton, so it's just going to be a bit more structured. Be aware it's 100% cotton, but it's going to look lovely as like a little blouse or a little dresses, little girl dresses. It'd be so cute. £4.99.5 metre. That's your vintage roses, 112 wide. Lovely quality. Again, this is one that's printed in Japan and it's like lovely cherry blossom colours, isn't it? Just £4.99. How are we already nearly approaching our last hour? I think since we've been in this new studio, time has just sped up. Well, this year, it's just been strange, hasn't it? At moments, I've thought this is really dragging. And then at times, I'm like, what? How is it almost October? I do feel like I've been robbed of my summer, do you? We've had a lovely week though, haven't we? It's been really nice. I put all my garden furniture away and Kieran keeps saying, should we put it out? Because it's going to be nice. And I'm like, no, it's not going to be nice. I'm going to jinx it. So I've been like sitting on the floor outside because I've put all the garden furniture away and it keeps being nice again. And somebody just messaged in saying it's really sunny again today. £4.99.5 metre. Is it going to be sunny all week? Oh, good, good, good. Yes, please. £4.99. This lovely deep blue is having a look for me. Oh no, raining, raining. See, it's a good job I didn't put my my furniture out. All my washing. £4.99.5 metre. And that lovely deep blue. That is so pretty. How about for things like storage boxes? Just jazzing up our workroom. If you've lost your sojo, what about just making a few things for your workroom? £4.99.5 metres. Great value. Really good price. Let's do the purple. This is ending in 04, please. Well done, Paul. He's on it. He's back, everyone. Last week we were a bit worried about Paul because he was ever so quiet. It was because he was concentrating, he said. Said, I've got a lot more to do in this studio. I've got a lot to do, a lot of cameras. So we didn't have any jokes, any banter. Now he's back. He's on top form. I think it's because Hannah's back. They are like the telly-married couple. The bicker in the gallery at me. No, but Hannah's actually really happy today, positive. To say that we had a bit of a nightmare getting into the studio today, that all of the, we were actually all quite sort of happy and jolly, weren't we, for a Monday morning when we couldn't get in the building. £4.99.5 metre. Your rose is on purple, that lovely deep purple. £4.99. We'll just whiz through the other two before we get Katharine on. I've got a number ending in, code ending in 57, please, Paul. This has got a really delicate spot in the background as well. Isn't that lovely? Lovely traditional colours, your vintage bouquet. Reminds me of like a country kitchen chic. £4, 99.5 metre. Do you agree? Lovely print, really lovely print. And it'd be so pretty for bag making or for even, as I say, dressmaking, quilting, obviously, perfect. Cushions, soft furnishing, that little, do you know if you've got wooden chairs and you want to make little seat pads with a nice little ties, I can imagine them with this. Green, this is nice and autumnal. I like a little blouse to go under. I'm really wanting a cord pinafore at the moment. There's a pattern, isn't there, from not so different. I think it's Pattern Preacher that do a pinafore pattern that I really want to have a go at. I think I'm going to have a go at doing a cord one this year. I've been a bit scared of working with cord. I've only really done any dressmaking with cotton bits, so some cotton dresses, like summery dresses, and I think, oh, when I'm starting to work with heavyweight fabrics, but recently lots of people have given me Adele the other day. She was like, go for it. It's honestly, it really behaves itself. So I'm going to have a go at making myself a bit of a pinafore dress. £4.99. This would be lovely as a little cotton t-shirt or something underneath it. Nice and autumnal colours, aren't they? That's your roses on moss colour for £4.99. There was great brand new fabrics. If you missed the show earlier on, have a look on the website because we launched lots of brand new fabrics at 8 o'clock this morning. And I understand, Monday morning, maybe you weren't here from the start. Early bird is brilliant, as was all of the fabrics. So in fact, for anybody who didn't get the chance to see the early bird, I'll recap it for you in a second. If you do want any messages coming in for Katharine, any questions for her, if you want to come and coo over our lovely design roll from Tula Pink, send in your messages, studio@sewingstreet.com is the email address, which will go straight through to my producer Hannah, who's back in the gallery. It's so lovely to see you through the window, Han. She's waving. I'm back. I'm back for 2 days. She's back for 2 days only, and then she's off on holiday. Well, I say on holiday, she's at home. She's having a bit of a chill at home. Are you going to be watching some series? You need to finish that series that you told me to watch, and then I've watched it all, and you haven't finished it yet. She's got 2 episodes left of a very gripping, quite scary film series. It's not real. It's a drama. $39.99 for your beautiful 80/20 cotton blend. It's so super soft and it's huge. Right, if I have to try and get this back in the packet, there's going to be a problem. That's going to be my job at 12 o'clock, isn't it? It's trying to get this back in the packet. It's massive. It's 90 inches by 108 inches. You've got so much wadding. Even if you're thinking of smaller projects, you're going to be able to do loads of projects. In fact, you know what? I'm going to just have I could even just wrap up in this. It's so lovely. We don't get much chance normally, especially when we were in our old studio. Or if you're in a shop or online, you're not really allowed to do this, are you? You get into trouble if you start opening things out and start spreading it all over the shop. So, do you get told off for doing that as well? So, I want to open it out just so you can see, because I probably will get into trouble for opening this and trying to show you like this. But there you go, just to give you a little bit of an idea. It still goes on and on and on and on and on. Let me step back. And on. It's 108 inches by 90 inches. You get a lot for your money, don't you? A lot for your money, especially with £5 off today for our early bird special. Do speak to the customer service team. Don't go anywhere though, because we're talking all things Tula Pink. We've got a gorgeous design jelly roll from Tula Pink. Katharine's going to be joining us to put the quilt together, so do not go anywhere. We're back right after this.
Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw from Sewing Street, and these are my 5 top tips for successful sewing. So, number 1, always use a good quality thread. A good quality thread will keep your seams stronger and also help to prevent lint building up inside your sewing machine. Tip number 2, if your project isn't going quite according to plan, put it down, walk away from it, come back again the next day and you'll probably find that things don't seem half as bad as they did. My tip number 3, never throw away your sewing machine manual, always keep it to hand, because you're going to find hints and tips, techniques and troubleshooting in that manual. You'll miss it if you lose it. My tip number 4 is to read your pattern instructions before you even cut out your fabric. Different manufacturers of patterns will give you different instructions, different ways of constructing your garments and different seam allowances. So to have a successful garment, you need to follow the instructions precisely. And then tip number 5 is don't give up. Every professional sewer sewed their first seam. Every professional quilter quilted their first quilt. Every professional quilter sewed their first line of wonky stitches and had to get out the quick unpick. That's no different to you. So I hope you find these useful. If you want more hints and tips, then why not go to Sewing Street on channel 74 on Freeview, on Sky 670, and of course we have a YouTube channel where you can catch up on previous demonstrations. We'll see you soon.
If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
Did you know that if you shop with Sewing Street, you're only going to pay one lot of postage all day? That's one payment of £3.95, no matter what you're buying. And you can check out as many times as you like without having to pay another delivery charge. So shop online at www.sewingstreet.com, or you can order via our call centre, which is 0800 001 4433.
Hello everyone, my name's Cara Ackerman and I'm absolutely delighted to be here at Sewing Street. I actually originated from Hertfordshire, then went down to Hampshire and then it ended up in the East Midlands. I've been in the East Midlands for about 40 years now, which seems crazy, but 36 of those I actually worked with DMC Creative World, which was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed that. And then I decided to go freelance, and that's how I got introduced to Sewing Street. I love doing anything to do with textiles, so embroidery, cross stitch, patchwork, done a bit of quilting, bag making, toy making, oh goodness, there's loads and loads of things. What I love doing is just trying something new, and I think one of the tips is don't be frightened of trying something new. You always learn from it, and you know, don't be scared of making mistakes either. We all learn from the mistakes that we make. Little bit about me that you might not know, and that's a bit of a surprise. I once went to the garden party down at Buckingham Palace, the Queen's garden party, for some work that I did with Marie Curie. I was so lucky to go there, and just a wonderful time. So I hope to see more of you on Sewing Street, and I hope to try lots of new crafts with you. So see you again soon. Bye bye.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. Oh, I'm so excited about this hour. Whenever we talk about Tula Pink, it always gets very exciting. It's always very, very busy. We had a jelly roll very, very similar to this last week, which was the handmade range. They all sold out, and I know so many people missed out. It's the first time I've seen this in, well, in the True Colours range. It's the first time I've seen them. They are absolutely gorgeous. We will come to the kit in just a moment because the only way of getting that today will be in the kit, which actually, do you know what? Those of you that have worked with 2.5-inch strips before, you know how versatile they are. There's so much that you can do with them. So that kit is It's really beautiful. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze, I think. No, I'm not. How annoying is that? Oh, I hate it when you lose a sneeze. Do you? It just disappeared. Anyway, sorry. So, The Joy of Jelly Rolls book is the one that we're working with today, which I've not seen before. This is a first for me, and it's really beautiful. It's from Caroline Forster, who has created a huge book here containing not just quilts, lots of gift ideas. You can see there 24 quilts and 44 gift ideas. It is a hefty book, and it's $9.99. That is a big book for $9.99. I don't think anybody expected that. So let's have a look through what we're going to get in here. So what's that? So you've got an introduction. What is a jelly roll? Your 2.5-inch strips. It talks to you more about design rolls and jelly rolls. It talks to you about different threads and fabrics, different cutting tools, basic sewing equipment. You've got a lot of knowledge and great photographs as you go through cutting fabric, cutting squares, cutting rectangles, how to work with your jelly rolls, cutting triangles, cutting diamonds, using templates, stitching patchwork, chain piecing, cut and sew templates. I mean, this is a brilliant book. Has it been on air before? That's so good, isn't it? I think every single time that it's been in, it's kind of disappeared. That's why I've not had a look in. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's so many beautiful quilts. Talking about waddings as well, talking about basting, hand tacking. This is even before we got onto the projects. You've got a book in itself of all of your techniques, different ways of quilting. Quilt designs, gives you a lovely ideas for quilt designs. Mitered corners, square cornered binding. Turning through, there's some really lovely, sort of tips and techniques before you get to your project. So the first section is designed to go through lots of different gift ideas, from dolls to smaller quilts to bookmarks and book covers, drawstring bags. So you're going to learn lots of different techniques, aren't you? Log cabin mat, Ollie the octopus. Maybe with some of the new fabric that we had, the Gradiente fabric that we had earlier would look lovely. Little mini bunting's cute for your workroom. That looks so nice. All round like boxes and giftware. That's so nice. Hexagon pillows. Hair snaps. Wreaths. How about doing that in autumnal fabric or Christmas fabric? Halloween fabric. Scrunchies. These are really lovely projects to start with as well. Bag dispenser. Applique tablecloth, that's nice. Russian dolls, love those, absolutely love those. Needle book, there's so many. We haven't even got to the quilt yet. So you've got all of these gift ideas, 44 gifts. Can we work out 44 gifts and 24 quilt designs? That's 68. What does that make our price per project? Less than 7p? That can't be right. Crochet hook, hook roll. Gosh, that is crazy, isn't it? If it's less than 7p a pattern, that is probably a record. That's got to be. Yeah, it is, isn't it? That is crazy, less than 7p a pattern, which is the lowest price I've ever seen. I would go as confidently to say that I think that's the lowest price I've ever seen patterns. Normally talk about 70p or less than £1, not less than 10p a pattern. And look at how complex they are. It surely would cost more to print this book. It's hefty, isn't it? Ripples, you've got such beautiful projects and nice quick quilts. We're going to be talking about a quick quilt. So we have got all of these designs. We'll go through, of course, with Katharine, exactly how everything is all constructed. This is the one that we're working on. I've just jumped past it. Look how different it looks. It's in autumn fabric. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not, sorry. It's not. It's not the quilt we're making, but it is in autumn fabrics. Do you know what page number it's on? No. And then you've got all of your templates at the back. I must have skipped past it at some point. But I got a bit carried away, haven't I? We've got loads of projects here. for just £9.99. So that's your book. Your kit that we're going to be looking at today. It's one kit. If you want to have a go at this quilt, we're going to go through all of the sort of lowdown with Katharine. But if you do want to do any of the projects from the book, whether it be gift ideas or whether it be the quilts, then this is going to be, oh, do you hear that? This is going to be brilliant. So the bundle comes with your jelly roll, all Tula pink, and then a metre of your cream for your contrasting background colour. Now, whether you're making this quilt or not, this is going to be brilliant. For any projects in the book, go for it at $55.49. That is your chance to be able to get it. Can I open it? Because I wanted to do it on air. I didn't want to do it before the show because there is no way I'd be able to put it all back. They are stunning. It's Tula pink, which we all obviously know, and quite often actually, those of you that don't know Tula pink, she's a really, really famous American quilt designer, and quite often her products are really difficult to get here in the UK. We've got a fantastic relationship with Tula herself, and that's the reason that we're able to bring you these collections. But I must say, the colours that she uses, her colour palette is just sensational. They are so bright, so vibrant. Right, sorry, let me just open from the centre here. The colours are just beautiful. This reminds me of like geodes, you know, when you see like, there's a few of us that work here from like gemstone background, and obviously our sister channel, we've been talking lots about different gemstones, whereas these, that's what it reminds me of, these ripples. What I'll do is I'll just fold back, absolutely, so you can see all of the beautiful colours. The colour palette is amazing. These are your full width fabrics as well. They're 44 inches, 112 wide. The only way of getting this design roll is in this kit. And as I say, it's up to you whether you want to make the quilt or you've got plenty of options in the book. Or maybe you've already got like a Pam and Nikki Lintop book or any of the other jelly roll patterns. This is going to be perfect for, but look at all of these prints. I love this colour. She just works with the most extraordinary colours and they all go together. In fact, it will go with any of her other collections as well. This is similarly to when we talk about Tilda. They always go towards similar colours which are all going to work together really, really well. But the different elements and the different prints, like look, this has got little birds on, and stars, the rainbow colours, the little hexes. What about for English paper pieces as well? I'm going through these quite quickly because I know that I just love that they're then going into your blues. You could also keep it in the order that it comes in. It all comes in sort of like different colour palette order, and do yourself bargellos of all like ombreing bargellos, couldn't you? We did a bargello demonstration last week with Stanley-Anne, in fact on Saturday. It was really lovely. Deep blue. Oh no, do you know what? This is not going to last. This is not going to last. A quarter of the stock already gone. That one, look, it's got ombre colours. That one's got ombre colours. I'm trying to be quite neat with these. Can you tell? These are going into your pinks and your purples. I'm going quite quickly now. I'm only sort of like halfway through. Look at all of these rainbow colours. In fact, do you know what I'd like this with? Did you get your modern patchwork quilting book in the last hour? This would be lovely for lots of projects in there as well. I know there's a lot of patterns that call for 2.5-inch strips. Your corals and oranges. There's more. There is more. I'm just going to full on indulge in all of these because they are just stunning, aren't they? The pinks and oranges. Look at all the prints. It's like a shadowed one. Oranges. Bright fuchsias. I think this is my favourite. Do you like this one? Remember, everybody that manages to secure this, well done, because this is the only way of getting this design roll. And as I said at the start, it's been really difficult, especially in today's world, trying to get Tula Pink products over here to the UK. So grab it whilst you can. You're not paying a hefty shipping cost that you would normally have to pay to ship from the US. It's all here in our warehouse, ready to go. But what we have got has all gone into this kit. And I think mixing it with your, is this a cream? So you get a metre of cream as well. If you want to add more cream, then of course go to the website. That's a metre that's already been pre-cut. But if you're multi-buying, I know so many people that might even want to extend this quilt. This is enough to do, I think Katharine said, a single bed size. So if you want to do it even larger, get yourself some more cream, get yourself another jelly roll, because I just don't know how hard it's going to be for us to be able to get any of these back in. So they're all of your fabrics that come in the jelly roll. They're beautiful. Plus, remember, you're getting a metre of your cream. A third of the stock is now already checked out. What we're making today is this. What a great way of showing off all of those fabrics. It's so bright and so beautiful. I mean, I don't know whether there is a direction of whichever way that you want it, I suppose. But I just love that it shows off all of those prints, all of those colours. Even if you go completely sort of random with your colours, it's going to work, isn't it? If you're multi-buying this, you could double the size of it without having to change the pattern. Sometimes with quilt patterns, it's hard to upscale, isn't it? Whereas with this one, it's easy to just keep adding rows, keep adding rows. What I've got here isn't the finished size. With your bundles, you can make more. We'll talk to Katharine in a second. That's a bit of a look though into what we're going to be making today. So check out as soon as you can. I've got a feeling this could sell out very, very quickly. Katharine, it is beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. When I got sent this to make it up, my first thought was, well, I'm just going to run away with the jelly roll and not make it into anything, because it's just so nice.
Oh,
absolutely lovely. So the example that you've got there used 3/4 of the jelly roll.
Okay.
And I've got a quarter left just here to show you how to make the pattern. It's a really, really nice, easy pattern. It was called Woven Dreams.
Right, Woven
Dreams. And you did flick past it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Woven Dreams is the pattern. It's a really nice, quick quilt, jelly roll quilt top make. There's absolutely no seam matching, which is fantastic. Thank you. So you're going to start by each strip of your jelly roll just cutting in half first. And then you're going to piece them together. You can see that on the example that you've got little blocks of 3.
So, right, did you go completely sort of random with this? You've matched your 2 on the outside,
I absolutely, so what you are supposed to do is take 2 the same for the outside and a separate one for the inside. And I literally went through randomly.
It's quite hard for quilters to do random sometimes.
Do you know what? Lots of people, I am quite random, yes. But lots of people find random really hard.
Yeah.
You have to not think about it very, very much at all. Just sort of put it in a pile and pull it out and see what happens. And then you can get some really nice combinations actually. But then I thought for the example, for the quarter that I'm going to do on this, I'm actually going to, they're sort of in a little bit of a colour, and I thought I'd do them in a colour weight and we could see how it looks. They're so a bit different. So these ones are going to keep the sort of reds and pinks and things together and see how it looks.
So it's up to you whether you want to have a bit of order to it, or do you know what? The great thing about Tula Pink is that you don't need to worry. She's done the sort of hard work for us, hasn't she? Could we have a look at it in the book? Because I wasn't very good at finding.
Let's find it.
Thank you.
The instructions are very nice, I have to say. Page 162.
It's a weighty book, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some nice patterns in here actually.
£10, that's so good.
Okay, so there it is. This is the one that we're making. So you've got a nice layout, all the instructions of how you're cutting it, and your piecing instructions here.
Oh, brilliant.
So, nice and straightforward.
Oh, do you know what I love? Our community. There's so many people on the fan page who have got this book and are already sharing pictures on the fan page of different projects they've done from this book. So thank you. I look forward to having a look after the show.
Well, it's nice when you know that other people have liked something and done it. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to put them together with a
or your feed dogs down.
That didn't sound very good, did it?
This is a different machine now,
It is.
isn't
It didn't sound very happy at all, did it? What have I not done? Maybe I haven't got my bobbin in quite right.
The strips themselves, just so you know, are 2.5 inches. So you don't need to do any sort of then pre-cutting, or other than cutting them in half. It's ideal, isn't it? If you are like me, I was saying earlier on with my stripologies that cutting isn't for me. Sometimes you think, I've got to cut 200 of these, 500 of these, and it can get a bit mind-boggling. Whereas with this pattern, it's nice and easy. Just so you know, the jelly roll and the fabric that you're getting in the kit very, very popular as predicted. Way over half has now already gone. So if you do want to make the most of it, now is the time to check out. I really think that we're going to struggle to be able to get any of these back in stock anytime soon. So if you are thinking of doing a larger quilt, grab 2 if I were you. If you can afford to do it, grab 2, get some more for your background if you want.
Yeah, because one jelly roll, it makes a single bed quilt. So if you had 2, you could no doubt make a double, couldn't you?
Oh, and it's a really, I mean, the pieces are large enough to be able to show off all of those prints as well, isn't it? You get to see all of the scale of print. It's not losing any of that love that we have for the Tula designs.
Right, let's give that another go, I think.
If you are searching on the website, Tula Pink, there are 2 bundles that look very, very similar. Be careful because the other one has got a different design roll. They're from different projects, but they look very similar. One's got 1.5 meters and a different design roll. And then this one's got 1 meter and then this design roll, which is True Colours, it's called. You're looking for Woven Dreams to get this one, Woven Dreams. Get the other one as well, the handmade one, absolutely. And they'll mix and match beautifully together, similar colours, really similar colours, but the other one's the Sewing Notions one. I just don't want you getting the wrong one on the website because they look quite similar online. Woven Dreams is the one you're looking for. Right, sorry, Katharine.
Right, now I've got myself rethreaded. It's, you only need one little bit to not be threaded right and your machine's not happy, so we're... Okay, so it's a 1/4 of an inch seam. You see I've done one side and I'm going to sandwich the other one. So,
no pinning?
They're not massive pieces. You could if you were being very careful and wanting to do a really neat job. But I always find cotton, this quilting weight cotton, it sort of sticks together a little bit. So if you get it lined up, you can be quite, and you're wanting to do a quick job.
Behaves itself.
It'll kind of hold itself together, exactly.
This is one you can use your 1/4 of an inch foot as well, the one with the gauge on the side, because it's not going to be dragging on any other fabric.
I always like that, this particular foot. Okay. So you can see there's your first nice strip like that. We'll give it a little press and then you can see it even better. It says in the instructions to press it with your seams going into the centre.
Okay.
So we will do as instructed.
Does that help at some point to reduce any bulk?
I'm not sure it makes any difference at all, to be honest, because there's no matching on this quilt. No seams are matched up anywhere because you've got your off centre.
Yeah.
To get that sort of woven effect, doesn't really matter.
Any tips on being able to get, because I've found sometimes when I do strip sets like this, I find that I can get sometimes a slight bowing when I'm doing longer strips.
If you're doing longer ones, you want to start opposite ends. So first strip start and go down, then the next strip start and go back the other way, and then you won't get that happening. But these are quite, because you're only using half a strip at a time, you won't get that happening. When you put your strips together, you're going to cut them into 6.5 inch squares. So I'll cut up this one to show you, and then I'll piece a few more and we'll see how nice the colours are. I always have to count like that. I always have to count it. I'm not very good at maths, Vicky. So my husband laughs at me because I still count things on my fingers.
Oh,
but that's what they're there for.
I do.
2, 3, 4. And it's really easy when you're doing these sorts of things to, accidentally cut 5.5 or whatever. If I do that, it double checks and I always get it right then, or more often get it right.
Measure twice, cut once.
That's what they say, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Okay, so you will have a little bit that comes off at the end, but keep them. You can't waste this lovely Tula Pink, can you?
Oh,
and then you can keep them, put them together and make something scrappy with them. And
had you worked with Tula Pink before?
No, I hadn't actually, but I just love the bright colours. They're they're right up my street actually.
I do love looking on Pinterest and what people do with them. Have a look, type in this collection. Oh, there's a huge following for Tula Pink. So if you have a look on Pinterest and just type in this collection, which is the True Colours Jelly Rolls Design Roll, have a look. There will be so much inspiration on there. So this is why I'm saying, look, our project is beautiful today, and it's a really quick, another quick quilt, but actually there's loads that you can do.
I think if you want to, because as I was making this, I was thinking, oh, you know, so nice to give quilts as gifts because they're such a really personal gift.
Yeah.
But they can take a really long time. Not one of these. You know, it looks great, but you can do it fairly quickly.
And quite often when I'm now thinking, I'm using a designer fabric that's costs more money, and sometimes I don't want to do some of the most complex patterns that I think, right, I haven't tried this technique before, or I'm doing a new block to me. I don't want to mess it up because I don't want to mess up my Tula Pink. I would think actually the fabric speaks for itself. I'm going to go for a simpler pattern, even if you are more advanced. Like you say, sometimes you just want a quicker finish.
And I think as well, you're not chopping this up into two tiny pieces, so you do get to really see the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous colours. Sometimes, you know, some patchwork, you can cut them up so small into such little squares and triangles, you almost lose the patterns, don't you?
Oh, you'll love this. They're so lovely. It'll be interesting to see actually the different colours as you're keeping the oranges and the pinks together. Different to this one,
Well, I thought
it
would be interesting to see that and to see how, because you could then put it together almost with a bit of a rainbow effect, couldn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, ombre, absolutely. Good idea. So did you just make up all of these first? That's the first thing to do.
So I did all my strips like this, I did, and then I cut the white pieces, which we will get onto. So the white pieces are 6.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So you're basically cutting them into strips as well. And then I chain pieced them all together with your little blocks that you've cut. So yes, it's, I mean, you could slow it down if you wanted and put a white one in each one as you go along, but actually, there's just something lovely about just like whizzing all these lovely colours through, don't you think?
Especially one that you're not having to do too much prep the day before of cutting everything. You know, when you're doing a quilt project, you generally do all your cutting first.
Yes.
Whereas this, you just unravel your jelly roll, it's done.
Yes, it's nice sometimes to do something where it's a lot of the hard work's been done.
Yeah. I'm thinking again, it gives you lots of opportunity, like with the anniversary quilt, to have a real lovely experiment where you're quilting maybe using some of the Tula Pink or variegated threads, different threads, and yeah, different options on that.
This would lend itself quite nicely to some, quite different sort of quilting. I think in the book, if we have a quick look, it does show it quilted, and she's done a free motion, just random free motion all over it. On her example, which does look really lovely. And interestingly in there, she's used a darker colour for the weft.
Ah, yeah.
Warp and weft. I always get them the wrong way around.
Look, you get a metre in your kit of your cream. There is no reason why you can't use another colour from the website. If you want to really draw on the blue, or if you want to have a darker dramatic background, you're always going to use that, aren't you? You'll get this still, obviously, we can't swap it out for you, but you're always going to use your metre of cream. That's always going to be useful. I think a lot of people have actually done that at home and thought, right, I'm going to get the kit because I really want the jelly roll, but I'm thinking of a different background colour. Good idea.
And I mean, you could use any colour.
Yeah.
I mean, anything goes with this, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's from the musical Anything Goes, Paulie, singing Anything Goes now. So what's that from? It's from the musical Anything Goes. It's the theme song.
Right, we'll press and cut these. Now we'll cut some white and put them together, and you can start to see how the blocks come together. But I'm actually quite liking it, of sort of keeping the yellows and the... You get a whole different look, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jelly rolls go a long way as well, don't they? I mean, you get how many 40 strips in here, is it?
42, I think.
42 strips?
It's a lot of fabric.
It is?
Yeah.
It's a lot more than you sort of think initially.
Oh, they do look nice. They're just such cheerful, lovely colours. I think going into yes, and darker nights and autumn. I'm not a big fan of autumn and the cold, and
I'm
but
so
a bit of
pleased when you're
variety.
here. We get to have the heating on. It is getting dark and cold, especially getting up early.
Oh yes, I'll be in my fur boots by next time.
I've actually still got my shoes on today. We were rushing round. The reason I say that is because I've been wearing my slippers. I've been wearing my slippers all week.
Have you?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Cosy. Yeah, Kat's left her slippers in. We both. That's what we do. Hannah, whilst you've been away, Hannah, on holiday, we've just been settling in and wearing our slippers.
You'll have your dressing gown.
Yeah.
Home from home.
Can you do like a onesie demo next time? A dressing gown demo, and I'll happily just sit here in my dressing gown.
I've got a lady on one of my dressmaking classes making a onesie at the moment.
Oh, brilliant. So how are you getting on then? Are you able to do your classes? Have you got a big enough studio to be able to do?
Yes, not with the quantities of people I would normally have, but with smaller groups we can be socially distanced.
Oh, good.
And I've got that I can basically thread up a sewing machine without touching it.
Yeah.
And lots of cleaning, so
that's it.
Yeah, it's really nice, but it's just really lovely to be able to have people back, in person. It's it's great doing stuff at home and whatever, but it's nice getting out there and chatting to people and doing things with other people. I mean, for a lot of people, sewing is a sociable thing.
Of course.
As much about as learning skills, isn't it? It's coming out and chatting with like-minded people, and a lot of the ladies that come to the craft centre come quite often, so kind of made friends, and it's really nice, really nice. Yes, right. So we can see we're starting to get some nice blocks, and we'll cut a little bit of the white to go with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count to 6, you see. So you could, like you say, put all your strips together. And when I was doing it at home, doing the example one, I did all my strips, then I did all my cutting, and then I did all this part, piecing it onto the white. So this is a slightly different colour to the one you've got in your bundle.
Oh, I'm so pleased that I've realised that was all Katharine's thing. So earlier on I was just demoing some of the creative grid rulers and said, have we got any fabric? And looked under and saw your bag of things and nearly cut into all of this.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, I'm pleased I didn't
Else
too.
we would have had an awkward hour, wouldn't we? Now, when you're cutting your fabric for the little across bits, you're cutting a 6.5-inch strip across the width of your fabric and then dividing it into 2.5-inch pieces. So, rather than cutting into 2.5 and rather doing it the other way.
We can give you a wider ruler if it helps you, but no, it's all right.
I'm all right. Do you know what? I always use one that size. And I know there's millions and millions of different sorts, but when you just kind of get used to a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just tend to always use one like this. I happened to watch you the other day, and you had a lovely little rollery thing.
Oh, the Clover rolling press.
Yes. And you were saying, telling
you.
everybody,
telling you,
everybody who was watching, including me, how which designers liked it. I thought, no one's given it to me to use. I've not had a go with that.
Oh, you can absolutely have a go with a rolling
I will
press.
have to have a go with that.
I have it here. It's good for opening your seams, actually. It is really good. I shall show you. This is our Clover rolling press. A lot of people like it instead of having to
it's quite
press.
small.
Yeah, instead of having to press at each seam. It's really good. It is really handy. It's on the website, and yeah, I know lots of our guest designers love it. So yeah, please have a go.
I'll just get those flat. Okay. So these are going across the top.
Okay.
Of each one. So you can chain piece these if you like to save thread, make it quicker, just so you get, really...
Get a bit of a production line going.
Get a bit of a production line going. So people don't know, chain piecing is just where you don't cut the threads in between, you just keep going. It's often new sewers are a bit anxious about sewing it nothing,
okay,
you know, when there's no fabric there, but it doesn't hurt your machine to sew nothing. It'll just make a chain. That's all that will happen. Okay, so we're going to use a 1/4 inch again.
I find that
so
I
you can
get
go through and then just leave a little bit like that.
I find I get a more consistent seam allowance when I'm chain piecing as well. You get in a bit of a rhythm.
Yes.
That you kind of get your eye in to see your seam allowance, don't you?
You do. And then you get, it's almost like bunting comes off the end, isn't it? Which I quite like. So we'll pop a few through. I believe if you do the whole single quilt, you end up with 81 squares,
right?
81 blocks to put together. So it's a 9 by 9 rows.
Oh, lovely.
Obviously, because I didn't quite follow the pattern when I was doing the example, because I didn't use the whole jelly roll. I think mine's 8 by 6 or something.
You were saying earlier on, sometimes it's hard to upscale, isn't it?
Yes, but
this is easy.
This is easy because you can. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, something's not sewn. Hold on. Seem to have lost my bits. I think. Come on, threaded.
Oh,
I was sewing air.
You're sewing and having a chat.
Sewing air
again. You're not sewing. Well, you say machine doesn't. It doesn't hurt your machine to sew nothing.
It doesn't, and it was.
Just an example, literally no thread. Just a quick reminder now. Way over half the stock has gone. If you do want the kit, remember it comes with your beautiful, I've never seen this, I think it's going to be the last time I see it as well, your true colours, Tula Pink, 2.5 inch strips, ready to go here in our warehouse. No shipping from America, no hefty shipping charges that you can pay when purchasing Tula Pink normally from what I've seen. Plus you're also getting a metre of your cream. If you want the instructions, they're in the book, which is also fabulous value for money. But I'll tell you what, for a quilt, that is a brilliant price. £55.49. And when you're looking at designer fabric like this, that is so exciting, isn't it? And look at these lovely colours. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. We have so many people. Like we said, there's such a following for Tula Pink, such a following. So have a look on Pinterest and get some ideas. We love those. You're all back?
Yes. What I want to know, Vicky, is are you going to manage to roll that one back up?
No, I'm not going to. I actually will try my best. I've tried to not unravel it too far that I'll be able to do it because I know they're limited, so I do want to make sure that it stays nice and tidy. Although if this doesn't get rolled up, then it becomes ours here in the studio, which is good because we can do some sewing with it, Hannah, in the mornings. It's so pretty. But no, I'm not very good at the folding. It comes so beautifully presented, doesn't it?
Yes, they do. In fact, you open them up and you just, you hardly want to unravel them, do you? Just 'cause they're so nice.
They do look beautiful. So again, any particular way you need pressure seams, or it doesn't matter because you haven't got points to?
Again, it doesn't matter. Because they've sort of wanted to, I've put them towards the white, although you would see them a little bit. That's actually what she actually tells you to do it towards that one in the book.
Okay.
But you might, if you are using a plain one, you might want to do it towards your more patterned fabric just so that you don't see it.
Okay.
But sometimes they want to go a certain way, do you know
Absolutely.
What I mean?
Seems they always tell
and
you
if it doesn't really matter, then
just go with the way that it's
I would say. For some reason, and I don't know what I'm doing, it keeps unthreading itself.
Oh, sorry.
This machine. Well, I don't think it's your fault. I suspect it's something I'm doing.
Sometimes they just don't behave themselves, do
it's
they?
It's just trying to tax me this morning on my eyesight for threading it. That's what it's doing.
By the way, the book is really popular. It's the first time I've seen it. It's the first time that I've seen it today, and it's brilliant. It's only £9.99, and it's got so many projects. Oh, do you know I was talking about quilting? I've got the Sunrise box, which again is designed by Tula Pink. It's in conjunction with Aurifil. She works with Aurifil. In fact, let me show you the box and everything, because talking about packaging, it's so beautiful. All the artwork's designed by Tula Pink. And inside, you're getting 2 boxes, 10 in each. And look, wait till you see the colours. They are going to be perfect for this collection. These are all your 50 weights, so you can still do all your piecing with them. But also, you can use them in your bobbin, you can use them for applique, you can use them for your quilting, hand sewing. It's the most universal thread weight, but look at those colours. 200 metres on each spool of absolute fine quality Aurifil thread, which is made in Italy. It's stunning quality. And at £66.99, I always thought was more of akin to the purchase, but then I did the math, and it's not very often that I do the math, and I did, and I broke it down, and actually your price for your, normally spools they're on 100 metre, threads are 100 metre spools, whereas these are 200 metres, remember, so that is a lot of thread. And it isn't just your really bright colours, you've also got black, you've got white in there, you've got your neutrals, you've got some beautiful sunshine shades, autumnal colours, some brights. All of them are going to go perfectly with your True Colours range. So have a serious think about those if you do want to do some beautiful free motion, I'm thinking.
Oh, it would look amazing in rainbow colours. That would look
Absolutely.
Could really go to town.
They'd look beautiful in your rainbow colours. So that's 20 Aurifil threads. Brilliant. So are you just back stitching the white?
So I'm just putting some more white bits on, and then we can pop them together into a row.
Going to say I can't really see how the rows are constructed because they're all sort of offset slightly.
Well, you need to make, when you've made all your blocks, then you need to put them into rows. And then when you stitch your rows together, you offset them. This is what's so nice about it, and what makes it a quick make. You haven't got to match anything up.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
So you're now stitching them together.
So I'm going to stitch them together into a row. If I do a 4 and a 4, and then I'll show you how it juxtaposes. It'll just be a very tiny mini one. But then you can add
Is there a direction on the quilt? Does it go vertically, or
I think in the book she shows it. She shows the rows running downwards.
Mm-hmm.
And actually the size of the quilt, yes, you've got your long edge. It's a portrait, isn't it, rather than a landscape. But I think if I was going to, make a full one of these, I think I would just go the whole hog and make a double.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really would. And then get some of that lovely wadding and.
So that would be 2 kits.
Yeah.
2 kits, and then the early bird. In fact, the queen size will probably be enough for it. It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Depends if you're sending it off to be quilted. We always say ask whoever's long arm quilting it how much they recommend how much they want round the edge, because obviously you've got your shrinkage. So they always say a couple of inches, don't they? Do you generally put about 1 inch of wadding round the edge of your quilt?
Yes, I always put extra, at least 1 inch, I'd say, because I mean afterwards you can tidy it all up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you haven't got, a very exact, precise amount.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely shrinks down. Right. Oh, I seem to have got bits of thread everywhere today.
Oh, we go home with thread everywhere. I heard the other day, Debbie, have you heard about Debbie? She went for an eye test, a routine eye test. They found thread at the back of her eye.
Oh, really? Oh, my word.
She had no idea.
No. It's not surprising, though, is it?
Oh, it's
in
crazy,
a way,
isn't it?
It's
I
not
find it all
surprising.
over me. I can't believe what you'd find in your eye. That is commitment, isn't it?
Like got in there and just worked his way around. Ooh.
Oh, that would be so comfortable. I
That's-
can't believe she didn't. You know, if you get an eyelash in your eye, it's literally the most irritating thing ever.
But I
She was
suppose
absolutely fine. She said it was a routine thing, and they realised it's got red thread at the back of my eye.
red thread. Oh my word.
I don't know how they got it out, Paul. I don't want to think about it.
That is a bit gross.
Sorry for the sound effects. We've got sorry what, Paul? Oh. A joke about getting the thread out. I thought he was giving us an important time check.
Is he giving you an important time check now?
He is trying to work it out now, yeah. A couple of minutes with the quilt, and then can we talk to you about some of your patterns as well?
Oh, yes. So, imagine these are longer strips. So you've made them into your 9x9. And then she tells you to trim off, I believe it's, I'll double check, 4 inches off the top and 5 inches off the bottom, so that you're evening them up. Okay. Let me just check, is that what she tells you? Yes. So you'll have laid it out so that you've got them in the pattern that you want. Yeah, when you've done that, always take a picture to make it work.
Check you're happy with the colour placement.
Check you have, yeah. And actually sometimes when you take a picture and then you look at it through your phone or whatever, you can see bits stand out that aren't.
I can see it a lot clearer than if it were in front of me there.
Absolutely, yeah. So you trim some off the top and you trim some off the bottom. And then when you put them together, you've got the, I think that's too much though, 4 inches. Because I want my whites in the middle. Like that, then you get the pattern going. So shall I quickly iron them and put it together so
absolutely,
you can see?
yeah, that'd be great. Still got a couple of minutes. It's just nice.
I went slightly off piste when I made that and put my rows together and then trimmed it at the end.
Yeah, whatever works for you, because like you say, there's no matching points. I don't think anybody will notice, or if it's slightly smaller than the size, then that's the worst that's going to happen, isn't it?
Okay. There we go. And obviously, if I was doing a big one, I would think about exactly which colours I was putting with which much more carefully.
Okay.
But, I mean, in the jelly roll, they all go, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Absolutely. Really can be random.
We're going 1/4 inch seam all the way down.
Even there, you've got no points that are going to match and be obviously sort of. Oh, it's great, isn't it?
There is something quite nice about making a quilt where you don't have to worry about matching anything.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's certain quilts that you think, oh, I want to, spend that time matching the points and having that intricacy. When sometimes you just like, right, quick quilt, want to show off my fabric.
Whiz something, exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
Want to get making.
So there you go. You can see how you would do it, and you're just going to keep adding your strips.
Nice. They look beautiful together. I really like actually having the different combinations that you could start to put together a bit of an ombre.
Definitely. I think that would work really well. It's a really nice, quick quilt pattern, which I really enjoyed doing actually.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
That's okay.
Are we going to talk about this first and then talk about the patterns? Is that probably best, Hannah? In fact, let's just talk whilst we're here with you. Let's go through your patterns. So you mentioned your craft centre earlier on. You're from Leicestershire Craft Centre.
That's correct. That's my little business, yes.
Market Harbour. And you've brought in for us some beautiful projects which have been really, really popular. And I believe that these were so popular that we've managed to get a few back. So the tweed one, let's start with.
Yes, so this was the one that I made up on the show a couple of weeks ago with our pattern. So it's a really nice structured bag.
Absolutely.
Magnetic fastening, lovely handles. There's an option to put feet on it if you want to. It explains how to do that. So it's very nice if you're fairly new to bag making. It's a good way of learning, some starter bag making skills. In the pattern, you've got
got a nice boxy bottom as well, hasn't it?
It has, yeah, it has.
Fit a lot in there.
So you've got nice printed pattern, nice good quality paper, full instructions with photographs, and that's like an extra little bit. It tells you how to do single needle saddle stitch, so that's all in there.
Lovely.
And then
and even though it's called tweed, I mean, this is going to work with, I think that's a cotton canvas,
It is. It works with everything. The reason it's called a tweed one is because there's a lot of information in the pattern on how to match your stripes and how to match your patterns across.
Amazing. So that's good. If you've got any lovely stripe fabric or pattern fabric that you want to practice your pattern matching as well.
So
that's going to be a lovely one. So that one's £15 back in stock, and it's one I think you'd be able to make over and over with. Obviously, you've got lovely quality pattern paper in there.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah,
different occasions. It's a nice size as well for your shoulder. And then, this is an interesting shape, isn't it? This boho.
It is. Yes, the boho beach bag. It's almost a little bit of an origami make. Oh. If you saw me make it a couple of weeks ago. Now there's no pattern with this, it's just the instructions, but it's quite a complicated layout to get your rows right so that you get the curve round the bottom. So you've got all the information in here about how to lay it out to get your squares going across your bag, right, and then to make it work properly. But it's quite fun to make. And it's quite good if you've got lots of bits of fabric to use up, actually.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I've just looking at this, a fantastic idea. You could make Tula pink squares and make your bag out of it.
Oh, wow.
Which would just be awesome, wouldn't it?
Amazing.
Which is now what I want to do.
Oh, that looked gorgeous. So that's your boho beach bag pattern, which if you want to watch the show back, you say you did it a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, absolutely. I showed you how to get it all laid out and how to do the kind of origami corner bits.
Great. It's all on the Sewing Street YouTube page, so you'll be able to watch it back. Thank you so much, Katharine.
That's
when are you back
Always
in with
us?
us?
Another couple of weeks, I think.
Do you know what you're making yet?
And I don't. It's as always. It's a lovely surprise.
Oh, finding out probably. You can hound them. Everybody's in the office today.
I should go and ask them when I'm done now.
Yes. Absolutely. It's brilliant to see, and thank you so much for 2 lovely makes.
That's okay.
Love them.
Pleasure.
Thank you very, very much. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. So. This hour, as we predicted, has been very, very busy indeed. We've been looking at project. This is such a weighty book. Oh my word. You've got a lot of projects in here that you're going to be able to get through with your 2.5-inch strips. Whether you're working with any other design rolls, have a look on the web, just type in design roll. We do some great panels. You're going to be able to make lots of projects in this book, and it isn't just quilting. You're going to be able to learn lots of techniques with bag making, toy making. I mean, I'm not going to go through them all because there is a lot. There's 67 projects in here, which makes it less than 7p a project. You can't go wrong. If you're after a gift for somebody, maybe you've lost your sojo, your mojo sojo, and you're thinking, right, I just need to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick something and do it. With your Tula pinks, it's going to look amazing. This, obviously, the quilt that we were looking at today is from The Joy of Jelly Rolls. It's a really comprehensive guide to using your jelly rolls. You've got loads of fabric in there. So maybe you have got lots of 2.5-inch strips ready in your stash, ready to go, or you've got the Stripology ruler and you're going to make your own jelly rolls. Get making, only $9.99. Lovely gift for somebody as well. Well done if you got yours. Now, I've started trying to put this away nice and neatly already, just subtly whilst we're demoing. The design roll, the jelly roll, is absolutely gorgeous. It's okay, extremely low on quantity now. If you do want to make the most of it, it's £55, 49 pence. That comes not only with your design roll, which is a 42-piece design roll, but also you get a metre of cream for your sashing or background. Just $55.49, which is such good value when you're looking at Tula pink. Oh, so use it for the boho bag. Absolutely. Use it for lots of different projects in your Joy of Jelly Rolls. If you've got any Pam and Nikki linen top patterns, don't have to make this quilt. This is why we did it separately to the book, because I think a lot of people are going to want this bundle, and the only way of getting this design roll is in this bundle. Even if you're choosing a different background colour, everything, as Katharine was saying, is going to go perfectly. It's all going to go well with this. Any colour that you pick, mix and match it all. As Paul was singing, anything goes. $55.49 for your kit. So that one is gorgeous. The first time I've seen the True Colours range. We've got nothing else. See, normally, do we have any of the other pre-cuts, like the layer, the 10-inch? Not at the moment. I hope we will. I wonder whether they're coming in. I don't really know the situation, but at the moment, this is all that we have from this collection. So I know Hannah's normally really up on a Tula Pink low down, and she hasn't heard anything. So I would grab this whilst you can. Look, that's my attempt. I don't think Tula Pink will be hiring me to put her jelly rolls together. Okay, so the threads that we were looking at, we had the Sunrise. We've also got the smaller pack, which has got 10, and a bit of a treat for you, they're variegated. So we were talking about having rainbow colour threads. How about literally sort of going from one colour into another with a variegated thread, 200 metres on each, all of your 50 weight. I was going to say you can use this for your piecing and it would seamlessly sort of blend in between. If you don't want to see your stitches, then these are going to be ideal, especially if you're doing hand piecing. These greys for EPP are going to be perfect, but personally, I want to see those colours. When you've got gorgeous variegated threads like this, I want to use it to its max and do lovely top stitching. You could do beautiful quilting, obviously, on your quilts, just decorative, or applique. It's going to look gorgeous as well. It would be nice with the anniversary quilt. There's some colours in here that I team up with the anniversary quilt, actually. That's always one of my favourites. This one here, it's got blues and pinks and whites, but they're all variegated. 200 metres on each spool. Have a go with them. Maybe you're not going to do your everyday sewing with it. I would save these for special. They are your premium Aurifil threads. We love them, love them, love them. Are you back with us, Paul, as well? We're here with you all week. Me, Hannah and Paul. Well, Hannah's not. Hannah's off on another holiday. So me, Hannah and Paul are going to be back with you again tomorrow morning, and we've got another great lineup. So do you want to see what's coming up? Must-have gadgets. Now, I'm excited to see all of the must-have gadgets. We're going to have a good old route through today and sort that show for you. Must-have gadgets at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, Rose Petals, Lewis and Irene, Charm Quilt. Oh, it's lovely Sarah tomorrow. I haven't seen Sarah. I don't think she's been in the new studio yet. Sneak peek on the Sewing Street official Facebook page if you want to have a look at that. 10 o'clock, kits revisited. That's going to be a jam-packed hour. Got loads of kits to fit in at 10 and 11. Sarah will be coming back with 4-patch bed runner. Coming up though, don't forget, I know that we're off, but there is still another repeat to enjoy from yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's show with Debbie Shaw, you'll be able to catch up. It is the 8 o'clock show that's going to be repeated the next hour before we hand over to our sister channel Jewellery Maker. I think it's a fabric panel show, if I remember rightly, from setting up on Saturday. You had the giraffe one back in stock. There were lots of the design rolls, in fact, so if you want to have a go with any of the jelly roll projects in your book, then definitely stay tuned for the panel show. Thanks for your company today. Thank you to lovely Katharine as well, and we will see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. See you then.